I think that we are live. If you guys can hear us out there, let us know. I want to make sure
If you
everything's
can see
going
me eating
before we get going.
spaghetti, then just say
Yeah,
something.
Walter's having spaghetti.
That
Um,
ramen?
is it ramen, Walter?
It's the real fine spaghetti. Angel hair.
Angel hair.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
Fancy.
yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
See, yeah. You're remembering your college days.
Oh yeah,
Remembering your
it's all
college days.
coming back to
Yeah,
flashbacks. So.
yeah. Let me
It's
see.
finals week too for a lot of college students, so
Oh
I
yeah.
feel them.
Okay,
Feel
I
it.
think this is feeding through. All right, let me drop the opening on here. I think it's feeding through right now. I'm starting to see people coming in. Let's do this. Drop the open
Welcome
and
back to the Hank
kaboom!
Strange Situation.
That's right. We're live.
Lifestyles of the
Hit the
Locked and
subscribe
Loaded.
button, thumbs up, ring the bell so you can be notified when we go live, which we are right now. We are live. I hope you got your big girl panties on. We're here. It's
Uh,
another episode of the Who. That's not, you know.
mm,
That's
yeah.
not to
Mm-mm.
you, Antonia.
Nah,
That's to
no,
all of
nah,
us. That's to
no.
all of us. We are live. We've got Antonia Okafor. She's here joining us. We've got
Hey.
Harry's Holsters. He's joining us. Walter's joining us. And the subject, this is episode 475, by the way, of the Who Moved My Freedom podcast. There you go. It was brought to you by Harry's Holsters. And the subject, it says GOA has a new national spokesperson. So if you're wondering why I didn't put Antonia's name in the thing, I don't know if you're wondering about that, Antonia. Are you like, what's up
I
with
kind of
this
had a
dude?
guess a little
Oh,
bit.
okay. Why
I
would you
guess.
say I didn't put your name up there? It was
Maybe it had something to do with YouTube not liking my name
yeah.
and demonetizing videos.
Oh, you know
that have
about
my name in
this.
it. Yes, yes. I was on John Crump's podcast just a couple days ago or a few days ago,
hmm
and he told me the same thing. You guys did an experiment or something. So,
Yeah, yeah. So if we put your name in there for some reason, it just becomes automatically. Nope. No, no monetization for this. We're gonna push it down and suppress it. So that's what happened the last time when you were on, by the way.
yeah. Did you
Yeah.
guys take the video off? I couldn't find the video, the clip.
It's I think I gotta check with Lola. I think because the videos when they go up here, they also go up on Gunstreamer. I don't know if you're aware. Are you on
Oh, okay.
Gunstreamer? Do you know
No,
what
I'm
that is?
not. I should be. How many
Okay.
times people have told me to get on there? I need to get on there.
Yeah, you got to get up on Gunstreamer. I've got to check and see whether the video, because I think that we just couldn't get it back. And usually what I do then is I wind up taking them off because I have a theory that YouTube, if you get too many of those, they wind up
Oh.
telling you we're taking away your partnership program. That's been my theory for a long time. The funny thing is my friend 13C Gun Reviews, Joe, that actually happened to him. So
Oh.
YouTube hit him with a bunch of these, like what we call the yellow medallions or whatever, demonetized. He didn't remove them. They built up, and then I think he said like half of his stuff was that, and then it became 75%. And then one day they were like, yeah, you're not viable for the partnership program, and they removed his entire channel out of that, which really sucks because when they do that to you, they suppress the discovery of your channel.
Oh, I did not know that. So
Yeah.
that's an added benefit to them demonetizing my channel. Great.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah,
Thanks,
so
YouTube.
it's one of these crazy things. And like even when we were putting up the clips, because I pulled out some clips from when you were on the last time, and I threw those up on Hank Strange. And if we put your name in there, demonetize. We remove your name, okay, fine.
I feel like
So
I'm doing something right. I don't know. I feel like it's an honor now. It's a badge of
yeah.
honor.
Yes, I think you should take it as that. I feel like I know we're joking around about it here, but it really sucks that I don't know what you did that brought all of that about, you know.
Well,
But it's
you know the whole story with like the first time they demonetized my channel, and then Donald Trump Jr. had to get involved in Breitbart, and
mhm.
then YouTube was like, oh, "Okay, yeah, we forgot it was an accident." And then after they put me back on, a week later they demonetized me again. So
Who's next?
So you never
yeah,
so okay, so they demonetized you. Everyone got in there. You got it back, and then they took it away again.
yeah, when everything died down.
So what's the status now? You don't have
Now
it.
I'm I don't care. I'm not
Yeah.
trying to be a YouTuber and get money from it at all. So I'm just
Mhm.
like, I'm not going to try and, push this fight. But when other people who are getting demonetized, that's one thing I realize is that, I mean, I have people with big platforms who can get that change quickly, but a lot of people don't. So it really it made me empathize with those people who are getting attacked. So
I mean, it sucks because look, you're someone who's out there speaking their mind. I don't see you doing anything illegal. I don't, you're talking about stuff that has to do with the Constitution, etc.
She's not disassembling guns.
Well, yeah, you're not even. I don't even see you doing that stuff. So I don't understand. Like, I know you don't care about it, but I think that in order to do what you do, costs money. And I know there are ways that you support yourself and do things, but it makes it very difficult for people to do that. That's all it is. It's not like there's not a lot of people who are making millions of dollars on YouTube, to be honest with you. But it helps support people for doing what they're doing, right? Otherwise, you'd be out there like doing some regular job, and then a lot of us who feel like we need you in the community doing what you're doing, we wouldn't have you doing that, right?
I agree.
Yeah, so it sucks.
But for those people who don't know, who just jumped in, I am the new national spokesperson for GOA. So yeah.
Awesome. Congratulations.
So what does that entail?
So I'm the director of outreach. I'm essentially bringing my organization Empowered 2A, which I talked about last time. It's a student organization for primarily young women, but we're bringing in the men too. We're bringing all the genders. They can be part of the organization, and it's going to be the official. It is the official organization for GOA now, Empowered 2A.
Empowered 2A. Okay, very cool. Yeah. So people can. How can people follow that? Can they just go through GOA? Can they go through your stuff? Both?
Yeah, right now the best way is to go to empowered2a.org, the number 2a.org, and then it'll link it to everything versus going to GOA and then linking it to Empowered. But yeah, that's the best way.
Yeah. Harrison, by the way, it sounds like you want, or it looks like you want to jump in here and ask something. So
I was going to ask about membership. How many members do you have right now?
For GOA?
And yeah. Or not for GOA, for Empowered 2A.
Yeah.
Oh, Empowered. We weren't really at the point of doing memberships. It was mostly working on the student leaders. We have almost 30 student state chairs all over the state, all young women. So we really focus on that structure. And now with GOA, we're gonna start implementing a lot of that.
Try to make it national.
Yeah. Well, it is national. So it was already national before. And we had state chairs in every state. It's just we needed more of the structure and the backing from GOA, and it's going to be that's why it's a great partnership, because we're aligned. And they were wanting to get into the student movement as well, but they just wanted the right avenue to do that. So, yeah.
By the way, you're getting lots of congratulations. Elfsters Rifles and Reloading says congratulations.
Thank you, guys.
Special K says that. There's a lot of people saying it. I know I'm not like giving everyone shout outs and stuff like that today, because we got to get, we got Antonia here. We got to get into stuff. If anyone out there wants to support GOA, there is a link in our description here that you can support them, and you get like your membership for $15. I believe you have one of those as well, Antonia, right?
I do, but now that I'm actually official GOA, I'll let you guys have it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I'll be happy. I'd be happy for people to go through, and if you want to do it through Antonia, please do it. I know it's there on GOA. You probably have it on your stuff as well.
Right.
And just so everyone knows, it's the four of us. We're going to talk about a whole bunch of stuff. We've got. I was talking to Harrison about this later. I know I'm going to put you on the spot, Harrison. So we've got Walter to be our curmudgeon. You're our curmudgeon today, Walter.
I got your curmudgeon.
We've got Harrison. He's young, so he's gonna be our millennial. I don't know. Are you in the millennial category? Do you
Yes, I am a millennial.
There you go. Okay.
I'm at the tail end of millennial.
Okay.
Like a lot of people think millennials are much younger than they are.
Right.
So I think there's some people close to 40 now are millennials.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Is that where do millennials start?
That does.
Yeah.
There's a lot of back and forth about when it actually starts, like 1980, 1981.
What? No
Yeah.
way.
From the 80s?
Yeah.
No freaking way.
Yes, millennials, 1981 to like, well, and then they say like 2000. No, no,
Oh, you mean you were
1995.
born in 1980?
Yeah, 1981, 1980 to 1995.
This is all weird
1994.
because someone was telling me that I'm in the boomer thing.
No.
You're not a boomer.
And
Give
I
me
was
Gen
like,
X.
yeah.
A baby boomer? You're not a baby
But
boomer.
they were trying to tell me the baby boomers went till the
No.
70s.
No, fuck no. Oh, sorry.
No, it's 63. I remember
Oh,
that's
63.
my mom's
Oh.
birthday. That was the
Oh,
last
okay.
year.
All right. Yeah. I was like, yeah, listen, don't put me, I don't want to be in
Remember,
Walter's.
that's World War II guys making babies. That's what.
Right.
That's what I thought.
Baby
Right.
boomer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
my parents were born in 46, so they're
They
they're-
weren't making babies, and they were.
Well,
but
they were
that-
born in 46, so yeah, they're technically babies that came out after World War II.
Well, I think the baby boomers might start in like 1948 though, or
Really?
they're a little
Yeah,
bit.
see.
Yeah.
After the war, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Labels.
all overlapping.
This is how the government tries to get us. I'm just telling you right now. Labels like this, also with daylight savings time.
Oh, yeah. It's
Daylight
darker.
savings time, that's how they're trying to trick us. You know, that's how they're trying to make us like crazy or something, switching around. I don't know. You can feel free to agree with me or disagree if you want. So, but I'm pretty sure of that. It's a conspiracy in America. I don't know who's subject to that. You're in Colorado now, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say like everybody except for like what Arizona and Idaho and another state don't have daylight savings.
I
Or
guess
don't.
so.
So I feel like they don't celebrate the daylight
Yeah.
savings or whatever.
Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
know. Where are you, Harrison? You're in
I'm in North Carolina. We have daylight savings time here. I didn't know states existed without it.
Yeah, I think Arizona is one. Doesn't have it.
Mhm.
Arizona.
And the only way to get out of it, you have like they passed the thing before Rick Scott left.
Mhm.
They were going to do away with daylight savings, but it has to be federally approved.
Yeah, in Florida, because
Uh-huh.
Florida wants out. So Florida already voted
Yeah.
itself out. But then the government, see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Why is that
Government.
even a federal? Why? Like, you need permission on the federal level. Why?
Yeah.
That's for a lot of things, but
Yeah, yeah. Okay, Camp David says focus. Yeah, Camp David, he wants me to focus, to not get into the, get into that.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's a conspiracy, I'm telling you.
Yeah,
I don't
I
believe
guess.
in a lot of conspiracies, but I believe in that particular
So I'd
one.
like to hear more about what Empowered 2A does at like the campus level. I guess, are you trying to bring awareness to students as well to make them understand what the issues are?
Yeah, so for the last 2 years, I've been going on college campuses and speaking to students about, the Second Amendment, but primarily female empowerment and gun ownership, and kind of how this modern feminist movement tries to exclude, gun rights and, our Second Amendment rights. So I've been talking about that for 2 years, and then the two pillars essentially for Empower 2A in this version with GOA is going to be gun rights or women's rights. So again, talking about female empowerment and gun ownership, but then of course concealed carry on campus. So campus carry and pushing that movement and pushing it for all 50 states. So that's going to be a big thing legislative wise.
Oh, okay. All right. Very cool. So, okay, Walter, did you have a question there?
No, I was just in the chat. They were saying, "Does anybody want to talk about red flag laws tonight?" I said,
Yeah.
I said
so
no.
Oh,
No.
okay, yeah. So, Antonia, I was telling you, we were talking about this a little bit behind the scenes. We had a conversation about red flag laws yesterday that got kind of heated. It's not banned. It's not a banned subject. I don't know if you want to talk about that.
No, it's not banned. It's
yeah.
just it gets into a lot of what ifs.
Well, I
You
think
play the what if game all night, and it just kills me.
Well, I mean, first of all, I don't know about anyone else. I'm not for red flags, right? I think we already have laws to deal with situations in America where if someone's dangerous and people feel like, hey, this guy, there's a high likelihood this person is going to do something really bad, right? There's warning signs, or that person is like reaching out for help. I think we already have things to do it. So when it comes to red flag laws, I'm completely against it. I think everyone got mad last night because of something that JP was talking about, who he's law enforcement in Connecticut, a situation that he walked into. And when you walk into a situation like that, what else do? He said a guy calls them, says, hey, there's some people here trying to kill me or whatever. There's 3 guys trying to kill me. They show up. That's what they're supposed to do. When they show up, they find the guy by himself, and they say, where's the 3 people trying to kill you? And he's like, they're sitting right here, and there's no one else there. And he's pointing at people that aren't there, and he tells them, if you guys don't do something, I'm going to kill these guys, and there's a bunch of guns and stuff like that around him. That's what he was trying to tell everyone, and then they did what they did. Everyone got, not everyone, I shouldn't say that, but there are people who got really mad about that. And then we spent the whole entire show.
That's when I bugged out.
Yeah.
It turns into the what if game. And you're not, and these people aren't there, so they don't know what was going on anyway. So
yeah,
I don't like it.
Yeah. So I don't know. What do you think about? Is there anything new on the front of red flag laws, Antonia, that you think we should be aware of, or?
Well, it's really interesting to be in. For those who don't know, I'm a native Texan. I just moved to Colorado like the last year. And it's been really interesting to see the whole red flag law getting passed and then will be implemented on January 1st here, because essentially it is a county by county type of implementation where the sheriffs have said that they will or they won't enforce red flag laws once it starts. So my sheriff in Will County will not enforce it. So I'm very, very lucky, versus right next door, Adams County, which is the exact same, the exact opposite. So it's going to be an interesting case when it starts next year.
So do you think that, okay, so your sheriff won't enforce it, right? I think,
Sheriff Reams, yeah.
Right. We could safely say that's a good thing. But do you think that your sheriff, if he was in a similar situation where, someone calls him up, when they go there, they see that person, seems unhinged or might do something, do you think that they're just going to back out and walk away and leave that person alone?
I mean, I can't speak for him. And I think that's what a lot of people are kind of hesitant about. I think Douglas County did the same thing, and then the sheriff changed last minute. It was on them enforcing the mag, the 30 round mag rule that they have. So, and eventually he did enforce it. So, I mean, we're gonna have to wait and see. But I mean, I think Sheriff Reams really gets it. He understands, the fundamentals, the foundational part of why we shouldn't enforce red flag laws, why it's unconstitutional in every sense. So I think he gets it. And he's actually doing a whole seminar tour across Colorado, teaching people about their rights and everything, and also teaching them more about how bad red flag laws are really going to be when they start in Colorado. For example, nobody has any repercussions for falsely accusing someone that they should be red flagged. Nothing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, of course, when they create these things, right? They just go in there and make it where no matter what, once we do this, there's nothing that you can do to stop us from taking the guns away from you. They don't think that anyone's going to weaponize it, so they don't put anything like that in there. And of course, it's one of those situations that we got nationally with healthcare, right? You have to vote for it first before we tell you what's in there, and then maybe we'll fix it later. But no one's going to want to touch it once it exists. So, yeah, that's the thing. I think we kind of all agree on that. I know, Harrison, I don't know. I don't think you got to see that conversation yesterday.
No, I didn't get. So it's probably best I don't speak on it.
Right. But when it comes to red flags in the Carolinas, since you're in the Carolinas, is there something going on in the Carolinas when it comes to red flags that you're highly concerned about?
Nothing I know about, but just talk among local LEs, at least in my area, is it wouldn't be enforced. So, yeah, I mean, they would not enforce it. Okay. But at the same time, a situation like what you were describing on the chat last night, I don't know if that'd necessarily fall under red flag laws.
No.
Yeah, I don't think it would. That's I think it's highly unlikely that would fall under that. So, all right, listen. So I'm gonna come up with some subjects here that we can get into. One of them, I heard that you posted about this, Antonia. Somebody dropped out of the presidential race.
Yeah.
So Kamala Harris, that's news out there, right?
She was never in the race.
Right.
What do you say?
Like I said, all those others are all cannon fodder.
Prosecutor in chief, yes.
Yeah, and she's got a reputation for doing other stuff too. So.
Okay.
Oh man, I'm not
climbing the political ladder the old-fashioned way.
Oh, okay.
You'd heard about it, I'm sure, right?
I'm sorry, Walter. I was like, there was something technical happening over here. I was trying to cut.
Oh, yeah. She's known for working her way up the pole, the ladder the old-fashioned way.
Yeah. Oh. Oh, seriously, Walter. I'm glad I didn't even hear.
She is.
Okay. All right. Oh, okay. Thank you.
I mean,
I understand.
You can look the other way, but it's the truth. So
okay.
She was never a serious candidate.
You don't think she was a serious candidate?
Hell no.
Okay. I think Joe Biden is saying that he would consider her as VP. I'm sure she's probably that's part of the political game. Yeah.
That would help him.
You can comb his hair leg or something.
Yeah, that would be a great combo. Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, right? Yeah, that would be a disaster. What do you think about the whole thing there with Kamala Harris? Did you have any run-ins with her, Antonia? Yeah.
Oh no, I didn't. I had friends who had run-ins with her.
Okay.
I never met her. So I've seen, well, maybe because I'm from Texas, so that maybe that's not anything new.
Mm-hmm.
But it was always Beto O'Rourke that I would see most of the time, even during his presidential race when he was like negative 1% or something. So other than that, I didn't see anybody else. But I mean, with Kamala, like, yes, black woman, whatever, but she didn't have the respect or the trust of the black community because of her, anti-criminal justice reform background as a prosecutor in California. So, I mean, she didn't even have that aspect of things. So I think it killed her in the beginning. With Tulsi kind of bringing that out, with that infamous debate scene, So, yeah.
Yeah.
I think she was more of a candidate than Walter's given her credit for, and I think Tulsi is the one who destroyed that, and I think that's part of the reason Hillary Clinton's going after Tulsi so hard now. I think the DNC wanted to see Kamala Harris get further ahead, and Tulsi took away that opportunity.
Yeah, at least float it up. I mean, I think that's why they're coming down so hard on Tulsi Gabbard, right? I think I'm saying it right.
She'll go away too eventually.
I think that's why they're coming out on her so hard, though.
They all run. The bottom line is they all have to have the money, right? The money, right? Without the money, there's no campaign.
And the connections, though, because it can be Jeb Bush.
That is this. You gotta money doesn't come because you're pretty. Money comes because you're connected.
Right.
Ask the guy that hung himself in jail. Asking about money and connections. Yeah, right. But anyways, I mean, they're all just cannon fodder as far as all those 20 candidates will all go away pretty soon here. And then the Democrats, like normal, will all get together. They'll have a kissy fest, and they'll all make up, and they'll all be campaigning for each other.
So Walter, who do you think? I don't know. The Democrats want to be the person out there?
They don't have a killer candidate.
So they got no one.
They got Bloomberg's not a serious candidate.
Why do you say that? Why do you say Bloomberg's not serious?
He can have all the money in the world, and he's still not. He's not a Trump. He doesn't have that. He's not going to rally a crowd of 40,000 people, and then have 40,000 people standing outside waiting to get in. Not going to have.
Can we just bring the elephant in the room that he's also an old white guy, and Democrats are not winning when it comes to that diversity type of thing that they were trying to push for when they have Joe Biden and, Pete Buttigieg and, he's gay, but still it's mostly white men, other than Elizabeth Warren, but, old and white.
Want to be Indian, yeah.
You have to remember that Elizabeth Warren is technically 0.001%.
Right.
Yeah, you got to give her the credit for that.
Somebody spit on her back or something one time. An Indian maybe did or something. I don't know. I don't. It doesn't work out. You can't just forget this stuff of people. She's a freaking liar. I mean,
I would really love Trump to do the 23andMe thing or whatever, and find out.
You want Trump to put out his genetics?
Yeah, and find out that even though he's like third immigration, German or whatever he is, like
he's got American Indian in him.
that he's got more than she does.
Trump.
Well,
okay.
yeah.
He only needs a 0.5% or whatnot.
I probably have more than she does, and I know my parents are from Nigeria, so
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
Someone
doubt
can-
that you.
I
yeah,
don't.
Well, until I decide to do 23andMe, we will never know, right? No, not really. And I'm never going to do 23andMe. So
Why you don't want the government to get your DNA? Is that what you're saying?
right? And I always use the whole like I don't want to be the Golden State or whatever killer. It's like I'm not going to be a serial killer, but it's like that's an example of why you shouldn't do 23andMe. Just in case.
Yeah, I think they have ways of getting your DNA. I think you will see Trump's DNA. You will probably see his tax returns first before you ever see his DNA.
If the Russians don't have it, nobody does.
Yeah. if the Russians don't have Trump's DNA,
nobody does.
Okay, so listen, we got into this DNA thing. Do you really think that it really matters overall to the American people? Does it really matter that we get like fake diversity, right? So does it really matter that we get a woman, a black person, Asian, all the combinations like female, Asian, gay? Then we're like, oh, awesome, let's make that person president?
No.
Yeah, I don't think it matters to me.
I think it's nice to have representation. I'm not going to, go full on, colorblind here. I think it is nice to see other people who look like me. But I also want them to think like me, too, if I'm going to vote for them or have the same policies or values. I'm not going to just vote for them just because they have the same gender or, they're a woman or they're black. So I think that's the biggest thing is we're not, and the Democrats continuously will not allow intellectual diversity, just like Tulsi Gabbard. I mean, that's why they're pushing her out. They don't like her ideas.
She literally has a better shot of winning the Republican primaries in 2024 than she has of winning the Democratic primaries now or even then. I think she's way far left of.
Yeah. I think the reason why they're pushing Tulsi is because they're worried about her becoming like an independent candidate or something, which if you look at that Joe Rogan thing she said that there's no way that she's going to go independent. She's staying in the Democrat, she's staying as a Democrat. But I think that they're coming down on her because that she does have a chance. I think here's what it is. People need to identify with you regardless of what it is, like what's on the outside. People need to identify with who you are. And when I look at Democrats, the only one that I really see there that I could even say, okay, I would have a conversation with this person. It is to me Tulsi. The rest of them, I wouldn't really be interested in even talking to.
The only reason that you want to talk to her is because she's resisted. She's resisted all. The reason they hate her so bad, the Democrats, is because she hasn't towed the party line. Mm-hmm. And when you go up against Queen Hillary, because she is the queen, and go toe to toe with her, you better be ready for the 2-shot suicide because it's.
So does that mean that Hillary is the ultimate candidate here? Then
I don't think so either. I mean, who knows? It's going to be wild. I don't know who's going to be the candidate. It could be this last minute jump in cluster. Right at the very end. But they don't have.
It's going to be Bloomberg.
If it's going to be at the end, it could be Hillary. Okay, you think it's going to be Bloomberg, Harrison? You think Bloomberg is going to be the person?
I don't think he would have entered the race if the DNC hadn't offered him some sort of guarantee. So there's going to be some shady stuff. And Biden, I think they know Biden doesn't stand a chance due to dementia. And Bloomberg's probably the closest thing they have to Biden that they feel they might stand a shot. And if he's come in late enough that he might not have to say enough of the super crazy stuff and as far as, transgender kids at 3 years old or if he can avoid saying that a lot of candidates are having to, and they need somebody who can appear reasonable. But the thing is, to win, he has to somehow not insult Trump, which is going to be interesting.
Okay.
To win, he can't insult Trump?
He can insult Trump, and the reason I say that is because to win, they're going to have to get those swing state voters.
They're going to have to get all these black Democrats that are voting for Trump now.
Yeah, you got to make up ground on all the Democratic Union voters in the swing states that voted for Trump and are fairly happy with their decision. They have to convert them and they have to convert all the black voters that aren't supporting Trump.
Mm-hmm.
So you need a candidate.
Okay, you guys are mentioning the black voters. Is there like a massive wave of black people going over to Trump? I don't know about. I mean, I don't know. I'm asking genuinely. Is that a thing?
Well, I don't know.
You know, Antonio, is it a massive?
I keep hearing about it.
Okay, because
I keep hearing about it.
Yeah.
I mean,
are the black people in America enough to swing an election? Do you think? Do black people vote enough to swing an election?
No, no.
Not enough percentage of the population.
Yeah.
Just run the numbers. No.
Yeah. What do you think about that, Antonia? Do you think?
Well, I mean, obviously everyone has to vote, every color, but I feel like you can't look at, you know, the Obama years and how, especially the first one, which I was an Obama voter at that time at 18.
You were. Okay, so you voted for Obama.
Yeah, I voted for Obama at that time. It was a long time, guys. I know people were like, "Oh, take her out of GOA."
You were in college, right?
I was in college. I was young.
She was impressionable.
Yeah. No. But yeah. So it was really. I mean, even if it's not by numbers, but actual numbers, I think there is there's a credence to the black vote in that a lot of people are going to look to them to see where things are going. For example, last time they were looking at South Carolina to see Hillary Clinton to see if she was going to get the black vote, and that was a huge deal. So, I mean, I think it still has weight to it, the black vote, even if it's not actually in numbers.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Like politically, if a lot of black leaders come out, for example, then.
Well, black leaders on the Democrat side, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. The right black, the people who are actually black, right, are going to come out for certain.
You just opened up a.
Yeah, I don't even know. I don't even know.
I'm not touching that one because I don't know really where that one.
Yeah, Walter.
We had a president that wasn't. Anyways, so.
Yeah, Walter. Listen, we already know where you're coming from. Say what you have to say, Walter. Everyone here can say what they have to say.
We had a black president that had a white mother, so nobody really seems to remember that.
Listen, I think that okay. So what? So if you're 50% black and 50% white, what are you? If we're gonna have this conversation, right?
You could be anything.
What are you
nowadays, right?
Yeah. What are you though? What do you think you are, Walter? If you're 50%,
I don't know. I can't tell you. I'm not.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that's a touchy situation. What do you pick?
So do we have to do a percentage test of like how to see how black you are?
Which way do you go? Do you go the side that's more profitable for you? Do you go the side that's more advantageous your way? I mean, what do you go? I mean, I don't know. It's a tough question. Society's not ready to answer it yet.
Yeah. What do you think about this, Antonia? What do you think?
Well, I know that my kids are going to be half white and half black, so I know that's going to be a future thing we're going to have to talk about. But for the most part, it's going to be passing. What do they look like? What does society think that they are in that experience? Do I think people don't really care when it comes to see the individual side of things? Absolutely. I'm not going to tell my kids that because they're black or because they're white, certain, life is going to be a certain way. But I definitely think when it comes to society, it is more about passing of what they look like. Do they look more black or they look more white? Yeah,
I agree with you. I have this particular, and I know this might seem weird, but I have this particular problem my entire life because I'm half black and half Indian. And when people ask me what I am, I'm a black guy. But the people on my mom's side of the family, they always get mad about that. Well, they're like, no, you're Indian. Right? Well, the thing is that in this world, people see me, they see a black guy. All those complexities of, I'm this thing or that thing. We've had some of those conversations here, even on the show, where there's certain people that, they just can't wrap their head around the concept of what you're saying. And yes, the truth is, ultimately, to me, I think it's whatever people see. If you really care that much to get deeper into who I am, then we could get into, okay, I'm this and I'm that or whatever. But ultimately, it is what people see if we're asking the question, right? We live in the world where someone's asking the question and it's coming up and I'm not saying it makes you a bad person if it comes up or that it exists out there. It just exists out there. That's what we are as human beings. It's what people see. So, like, let's say we're talking about Obama, for example. I don't know who sees Obama and thinks that's a white guy.
No,
Right.
Even though he's fair-skinned. So his entire life, I don't think anyone sees him and goes, "Oh, he must be so he could be a white guy." You know, he's not like Vin Diesel. Vin Diesel, a lot of people don't realize that's a black guy. Right?
Or what's the other girl? From not what is it called? Parks and Rec. What is her name? She's Quincy Jones' daughter. Rashid Jones. Anyways, she looks white and she has like freckles, but she's just as half black as her sister, who looks way more black.
Right. Yeah.
So she passes. So yeah.
Right. Yeah. There's a lot of people who pass for that. Maybe The Rock, where people say like, "Oh, he's exotic," but they don't realize. You know. I was looking at something the other day where someone was saying how Clark Gable, the guy who was in Gone with the Wind.
Clark Gable.
Yeah, black guy. Yeah. Yeah. Look it up.
He's half.
Yeah, he's black and Native American Indian, so he's not a white guy. I never realized that myself. So there's a lot of things. Look, Wonder Woman was Mexican, right? The Wonder Woman that I grew up with, right? See, Walter, it's messing with you, right? So that makes the point of what I'm saying, that ultimately, you know, if you can pass with it and get away with it, fine. But if you can't, then I think that's who you are, because you're living in the world where it's a thing, and, you know, so whether people like it or not, you have to deal with it. So I know for me personally, you know, that's the way I look at it. So what do you think about all this? What do you think about all this, Harrison?
Well, I mean, it's all going a little bit over my head. I mean, I just kind of think it's relevant, but it's irrelevant. It should be irrelevant, but unfortunately it is relevant.
Yeah, I think we're still having the conversation, because there's people out there in the world who go, "Yeah, we didn't really have a black president."
Right.
You know.
Right.
And,
well, there's black people. There's black people who think.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, that's why I bring it up. I don't.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. There's black people who are saying that, or even to go back to what you said earlier, Antonia, that, you know, it would be nice to see someone that looks like you become president. I lived in Nigeria, so I've lived, and I was born in Guyana, so I've lived in places where people look like me and look like you. We're running the place, and it doesn't make any difference. There's still corruption,
and they still kill you for a quarter.
Yeah, you know, there's
what I want. I don't care about the color or what. What I want, somebody that can do the job.
Right.
Who's competent. I don't want a woman there who's incompetent. I don't want a dude there that's incompetent because he's whatever. I want somebody that can run the show.
Okay, so what's competency to you? What's competency to you?
Well, taking care of business. I mean, everybody's got a different thing of competency, but I want him to do the. I don't want him playing political. I mean, I don't want him playing global warming. I don't want him playing. You know, we need to take care of this religion or that religion. I want him to run the country's business.
Okay, what is the country's business?
Like a business, treaties, running the military.
Okay.
Things like that. Not freaking going out and being political and, you know, and kissy and all this stuff with all these different groups.
Protecting our rights, you know, things like that.
Right, that kind of stuff. Right, exactly. Yeah. Like Trump's over there doing that NATO stuff, which we need to dump NATO, by the way. But and those guys are making
100% agree with that. But go ahead.
Those guys are making fun of him, so he said, I'm out of here. You know, that's what you should do.
Yeah. Are you talking about when they were like caught in a hot mic situation?
They're mocking him. Yeah, mocking him. Yeah. You know what? Without the U.S. and our money, there is no NATO.
Yeah.
Bottom line, there's no NATO, and half of these 2-bit countries over there, there's no country.
Yeah.
Because we took care of them since World War II.
Yeah. So this is a little bit of an aside, because I do agree with you. I think the person becomes this is the whole thing about becoming president versus becoming like a governor, mayor, or whatever.
Yeah, nanny. Yeah.
Well, you become president to be the representative of America in situations like this, and in a situation where these world leaders are doing that. The license has been given to world leaders because of what's happening here in America when it comes to the media. Right? There's lots of other people that have become president in America that
Went
you
over
can
and
mock or
bowed to
whatever.
every leader.
Well, there's other people that you can mock, but the media never did what they're doing right now. I've never seen it, and I've been living here since 1983, right? So I've never seen a situation where I was talking about this earlier that people now, they know that if they turn on the news, if they turn on their TV, they have like a 70% chance of hearing something about Donald Trump. Something negative.
Higher than that. Higher than that.
Yeah. Like today with that in the impeachment thing, where this one person started talking about Trump's son, like using him as an example. That's no place for that bullshit. There's no reason for that. Nobody went after Obama's little girls, did they?
Yeah, but the
Did
media,
they?
but
No,
you know what?
they
So
didn't
here's
do
the
that.
thing. So the media allowing something like that to happen, where we have a president, right? We have a president as Americans, whether you voted for him, you didn't. Like, I didn't vote for Obama. I remember my boys who are like 19 and 20 right now. You know, they were crying when they asked me the first time Obama was running if I'm going to vote for him, and I was like, hell no, I'm not going to vote for him. You know, even though I didn't vote for him, he's my president, right? He's the president of America. When he's out there doing things, it would make me mad to see in the news there's a bunch of politicians from some other country or other countries around the world, and they're mocking the person who's my president, and I myself would say, screw those countries. Regardless of whether it's Obama, Trump, Bush, Clinton, none of that stuff matters because, you know, ultimately I think at the end of the day, the rest of the planet depends on America to go in and be the police for them.
Unfortunately, yes.
You know?
And I don't want to see a president take that crap either. You know, just kind of go, oh, well, you know, it's okay. No, it's not okay. The Trudeau dude is a freaking loser, you know, in Canada. And, you know, the rest of them are right behind him, so.
I mean, 3-time blackface, like.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
No
well,
other people would be able to get away with that.
well,
Crazy
because he's on the left. That's what they
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but
Absolutely.
the point I'm trying to make here with that is I think that this is a thing that in America, people in America, not us, I'm not saying that we agree with that. I'm saying the rest of the people in America who think that that's funny and that's okay. If the media, whoever else it is out there, Hollywood, I don't give a crap. If anyone thinks that's okay to happen, well, this is the problem with the world, right? And this is why we should just leave the world the hell alone and let whatever happens to them happen to them, because it's not worth it when at the end of the day we get to choose who's the leader of America. We put that person out there. You have to respect them for the authority that we give them.
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, it comes down to this. We are not going to be in a position where people look at each other equally till we are in a place. And Dave Chappelle's special orchestrated this perfectly when he did the joke of I'm not an N-word either. And about saying F, all that kind of stuff. That is reality. We need to get to a place in society where people can say whatever they want, and the context you need to look at the context and the tone of what they said, not just the words, and stop accusing people of, oh, you voted for this person just because they're this color or this sex. Or you didn't vote for this person because they're this color or this sex. People just need to quit talking about that completely, and maybe we'll slowly start getting away from those biases.
Well, it's like Kamala Harris right now. She's, going around in the media tour boo-hooing because she believes that she had to drop out because America's not ready for a Black woman. Like, no, we're not ready for you. We don't want you. I mean, that's you as a person. And I'm another Black woman. So I think that's the thing, is that they continue to use the, oh, poor me, pity me, everything's, because I'm a Black person or because I'm a woman, that is why people don't like me or don't want me to be a part of something. For example, that, I don't know, I think her name's Katie, the one that just left because she had an affair. Well, not an affair, but basically throat or whatever that was.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure what it was, but yeah, it was something.
Whatever.
You're talking about the congresswoman that was married to a guy, but she was perhaps bisexual or something like that.
Anyway, so here she is. She's basically doing the same thing going to different TV media, telling them that, it's a sexist, misogynist world. And that's why she had to, resign.
Yeah.
So
no,
just
you
own
didn't
up to
live
your
up.
own
You didn't
stuff.
live up to your own standards.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or ethics.
If she put it, so here's what I think about it. If she put it out there who she is before she got elected, and her constituents voted her in, knowing that this is who she is. She's married to a guy, but she sleeps with women. She does whatever, and it's out there, and you put it out there, and people voted for you. Whatever. Me personally, I don't care about that, right? If I don't agree with it, I might not vote for her. But if that's out there and people vote for her, then that's fine, because she represented who she is and then got into office, and then it's all good so far as I'm concerned. I think like this came up a little bit where, like, I've seen people talking about Maj, right? Maj was running. He didn't win. It's tough to win Philly, It's one of those places. But I remember there were people saying, "Oh, Maj, you're running for office now. You should talk like this." And I was like, "What the hell is wrong with you guys?" I want Maj to be exactly who he is all the time. That's why I support him. I don't need him to start talking a certain way or doing this or that because he's running for office. I support, love, and appreciate who that person is. And we need more politicians to actually just be that.
Right.
Absolutely.
I mean, if you don't, I hate these politicians that they say something and then 5 minutes later they're apologizing. That's what I like about Trump. He doesn't do that. You don't like it?
I think that's what a lot of people,
and I said before the election, the guy that comes out finally, because America's tired of this squishy, apologetic politics, especially on the right side. The left can say whatever they want and do whatever they want, and it's all good because we're. But when the right says something and you piss somebody off, I didn't mean that. I misspoke. No, you didn't. You said it. Just say, hey,
right.
That's what it is. I don't have to, I guess if I don't like you, I don't like you.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Chick-fil-A, the whole Chick-fil-A thing.
Yeah. Chick-fil-A is great, man.
You just give them an inch, and then they're going to keep continuing. Then you're just nothing is going to appease the people who are, boycotting and protesting.
What's the Chick-fil-A thing? What's the Chick-fil-A thing?
Chick-fil-A is homophobic and this, that, and the other.
Right? Well, recently, actually, they decided to stop giving money to Fellowship of Christian Athletes and to Salvation Army because of protests. So they finally caved.
Right.
Really? Oh, so they stopped support.
Yeah.
Okay.
Never.
So the thing is, Chick-fil-A, everyone knows that they're a Christian-based organization, right? That or business.
Right. Yeah,
that makes really good chicken.
And they sell a ton of it.
Yeah. So, but you're saying that because of the pressure, they stopped supporting Christian groups?
Well, they're not going to actually say that, right? In their statement, it was something wishy-washy. But essentially, it was it's them saying, because for one reason is that they know those organizations are the ones that's always been called out. Salvation Army, especially the last since the holidays have started with Ella Gould, Ellie Goulding or whatever her name is. She wouldn't even perform at the Dallas Cowboys event because Salvation Army was going to be there, and in her eyes, she thinks that Salvation Army is anti-LGBT. When you look on the website, it actually says that they serve that community explicitly. So
you can
that
never.
whole thing was a big thing.
That's
All these people, once again, I'm going this. It's just like gun stuff. Never ever give anything on the gun thing because you can't. They're never going to stop. There's no stopping this stuff. It's not. It's not like. It's.
I think it's horrible that you have to be apologetic for who you are, like so in the case of Chick-fil-A because they're Christians. It's crazy. But I guess being Christian is the one thing you can don't come down on atheists or and people who are Muslims or what. But if you come down on the Christians, okay, that's fine.
That's cool. That's fine.
Yeah, that's all acceptable.
You're the kicking boys. So go ahead, kick us.
Right. It's like making fun of white males these days. Like
the white guy. White guy's the enemy nowadays. Yeah, I mean, just kick us some more.
Yeah. I have to console my husband all the time.
Well,
I'm like, I'm sorry, babe. I'm sorry you had to go out into the world and be kicked and spit on. I'm kidding. But, yeah.
something I think we need to take into account is look at Chick-fil-A. They are not in an environment that would support their morals or their Christian background within the company. And how many people do they serve that do not fit their ideal of, or what people think they have as far as Christians being? How many people going to a Chick-fil-A restaurant are atheists or?
Yeah. Well, I live
in
Gainesville, which is a hippie town, and the Chick-fil-A here is
kills it.
I'm telling you, it causes traffic jams.
Well, they do everywhere. It's not just there.
Yeah.
I mean, you go in at lunchtime and they're jamming busy. It's not, and that's because people like their food.
Yeah, well, that's the thing I was going to say. Good food is good food. Like me personally, there's times in my life I buy stuff from like the halal store, like when I was in New York or whatever, right? That's Muslim stuff. I would buy stuff from like a Jewish store or whatever it is, right? There's nothing wrong with doing that, except I guess in this case, there's something wrong with them being a Christian group and supporting other Christian Christian charities and stuff. And
the thing that these people that have all this problem with don't understand, the more fuss they make, the more money they make. Because every time they come out against Chick-fil-A, people just swarm the place.
Yeah.
Supporting it. So,
it's like the impeachment. I mean, Trump has probably never made as much as he is, as quickly as he is for his campaign after the whole impeachment process started. I mean, that's what the Democrats had to lose.
Yeah.
So,
well, let's realize the Democrats gave us a gift with impeachment. Okay, and the reason why I say that is this. Trump was getting ready to do some kind of gun control. Republicans in Congress were getting ready to do some kind of gun control. Everybody was down with this. We were all like, "Oh man, this is going to happen." I remember, right? And then the Democrats decided to go the impeachment route. Meanwhile, saying to Trump, "Hey, by the way, don't let this impeachment thing get you distracted from that," And then they decided to go all in on the impeachment instead of making the deal with him, and then maybe coming back to the impeachment thing. And here's where we are now. We're at stalemate with that. I'm thankful for it that right now we don't have any added, gun control laws. But
but the DOJ is still doing stuff. Don't be so easily. They're still plotting. They're still planning. They're still
for sure. I'm sure that they are. I'm sure that we've still got Republicans out there that want to give us some kind of gun control measures.
Give us. Yeah.
I'm sure there's people in justice that want to do that, right? Trump's brought in some people that are like famously.
Hell, there's still people there from Clinton. So
yeah. So I'm sure that could happen. But right now, what I know is this what people are looking at as craziness is basically slowing down things that none of us would be happy to see out there.
Well, and it's also, but the bad part is the business that needs to go on with the country is not ever being done. Like, you don't have a budget in this country. The country does not have a budget anymore. They do these bills and they just give a little more money, a little bit more money. You know what's going to happen during the SHOT Show again? The government's going to shut down. Want to bet? I'll pay you a bet. So it's so funny. The Commerce Department comes to the SHOT Show and you're supposed to meet with people from the Commerce Department about international trade. Well, the last 2 years there's no sense in making a meeting because the government shuts down. They won't, and the people can't get to the SHOT Show. So it's like, why bother?
Once again, I think that's something we're accepting as Americans.
Well,
we're accepting certain things. Like we're accepting this kind of like this is a Ponzi scheme that we're doing with the budget, right? It's a Ponzi scheme. We're pushing it down. Like, we'll add to it. We'll just print more money. We're accepting all that stuff. We're accepting that politicians don't have term limits. We're accepting that there's politicians that commit like egregious crimes, and then we just let them get away with it and keep getting reelected and all that kind of stuff. We're accepting that, and as Americans, we're not going like we should change this. The whole two-party system, in my opinion, is a horrible, destructive thing. And if like a lot of people on the left want to talk about moving forward, you want to do some moving forward, like you got to do something about the two-party system. Like it's either Democrats or Republicans.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Well, consider this. Say you manage to abolish the parties and go back to a system like we had more towards the founding of the country. Imagine what the president and vice president would look like if it was just essentially a one-party system. where people ran against each other and the top survived versus the two-party system where they run independently in these two different parties. I mean, would Trump even be a thing? Would Barack Obama have been a thing? Who would we have? Who would be the president? How much different would that look if the country as a whole was voting off that versus voting based on their party?
What do you guys
would
think?
They not?
I don't know. I mean, I'm not
People
looking
are not
for a
smart
one party. Yeah, I'm not. I think we have like essentially a one party kind of system thing right now. I don't know.
People are not smart enough. That's why nobody cares about budgets or anything like that. 'Cause people just don't care. They're not, they're not smart enough. I don't know however you put it. They're just not intelligent enough to understand what's going on. A lot of people aren't. They're just so wrapped up in watching whatever they do besides what's going on in the country.
Yeah, I think.
Well, and
the
good guys like never have a voice. That's the thing. It's like Thomas Massey, for example. Rand Paul. The people out there who want to talk about the budget, who want to talk about things like that, can't. And then they also can't get any power or whatever, or even authority, because they're not doing the whole quid pro quo thing where I scratched your back, you scratched mine, and then essentially it's doing the same type of thing. So. Thankfully, we have Thomas Massey. Thankfully, we have Rand Paul and people like that. But unfortunately, and thankfully, we also have Roger Marshall, who also had just introduced the SBR bill. So things like that is helpful to see when everything else is
okay, and that's on the Republican side, right? How would we get those kinds of people to get more support in the Republican Party? Because I think, as Walter said, basically Trump hijacked the Republican Party. We were talking about Bloomberg before. I think he's trying to hijack the Democratic Party, but I don't think he's going to succeed. I think they're too organized versus the Republican Party.
They need somebody that gets people excited. And Bloomberg is another wet noodle. Sorry,
you don't think he's sexy enough?
No, well, it's not even that. He got politics has changed since Trump. Sorry, that's my opinion. But you need somebody, and the Republicans better figure this out too, because if they throw another what's his name, the Mormon in there, or they throw another John McCain in there, or like one of these, I'm just such a nice guy. I got a big family. I'm a nice guy. That doesn't work. It doesn't work. You got to get people riled up and excited, and that's what Trump did. That's what he does, and you can't throw these wet noodle guys. I hate to say it, there's some smart guys out there, but a lot of them are just.
I think since Trump got into Republican Party as the nominee, I think that the Republican Party is going to fix whatever happened there, just like the NRA went around and started changing, the rules or whatever of the game to keep people from getting control of it.
Well,
I think the Republican Party is going to make sure we don't have any more Trumps.
But what are you going to have? You're going to have the same boring ass, dull as a
because ultimately that's what these guys want. I think that's ultimately what they want.
They want somebody they can control.
Well, that's money. That's money. That's money. That's all that is money. It's nothing else. It's not about your charisma. It's not. If you don't have any money, they say, well, run for office with what? I mean, I can be the badass, most energetic screamer out the top of my lungs, but if you don't have any money to get it, you can't do anything. It's the facts of life. So that's why Trump got where he got, because he's got his own money. He wouldn't have got it from the Republicans.
Right.
Yeah. Well, he kept himself in the game.
Media.
And that's what Bloomberg thinks too. Well, I got a lot of money too. Maybe I can get in there too. But Bloomberg ain't got no personality. He's like I said, he's a wet noodle. So,
I think it wasn't even Trump having money. Like you said, Bloomberg. It was that he got so much free media because everyone's talking about Trump every time that whether it's good or bad, you're getting name recognition. So he didn't have to pay for hardly any media when it came to that. The actual election. Because
they were the media is so stupid. They didn't realize they knew what they were doing, but they didn't know how to stop themselves. They couldn't stop themselves. Every time Trump says something, it was in the media. It's like, well, hey, more the better.
Yeah.
I mean, for him, it was great, but the media couldn't not follow him because they just couldn't help themselves. I mean,
Yeah,
just,
but I think when it comes to that, Trump understood something a long time ago that a lot of us are understanding now, that name recognition equals money.
well,
I think he
already had
understood
it.
that way back. You know, I remember in New
Apprentice,
York, people. Yeah, well, before all of that, I mean, you know,
Who knows?
it's tough to go up against someone like Trump that everyone in America pretty much knows who that is.
He had a primetime TV show, mofo.
Yeah, but he's also been in a lot of movies. You know, Trump was in what is that? Home Alone.
Yeah,
You
but
know
I
that?
mean, he was on TV.
Yeah, he
People
was in
saw
TV.
that. You're fired.
He
You know,
was
It's
in
like,
music videos. All that.
Where's
I got it.
Bloomberg doing? Where's Bloomberg? Where's he
You
at?
know what I'm getting out of this? I'm getting that Kim Kardashian is going to be first lady in 2025.
I mean,
Kanye's-
Kanye's already said that, right? Yeah,
It could happen.
it really could.
Yeah, as
really
crazy
could.
as that sounds, it could happen. It could happen.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, that's the game that we're playing. If people, like we're talking about the two parties, if you want to erase the two parties or overtake a party or something like that, you have to be able to still get your message out there. No matter what the media decides to do to you or the party decides to do to you, you still have to be able to get your message out there. And that's pretty much like what happened with Trump. The Republican Party thought, this guy's a joke. There's no way. That's not happening. Right? But he was able to get the nomination. And then even when he got the nomination, the Republican Party just abdicated anything and didn't really decide, for the most part, decided, hey, we're not even going to like actually push for this guy. But he still won the election.
That's why I wonder with the Democrats that they're kind of doing the same thing that happened in 2015 with Republicans, where everybody thought Jeb Bush was going to be the nominee. He had the connections. He had the money. I mean, the war chest was ridiculous. And then he spent all of it because no one, like you said, no one was behind him. He was, you know, lame Bush or whatever, lame Jeb. What do they call him? I forgot what his.
I know Trump
trying-
called him Little. Did he call him Little? Was it Little Jeb?
No, that's Marco. No,
Oh,
that's
Little
Marco
Rubio.
Marco
Little
Rubio.
Rubio.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
but people were bushed out. They'd had their fill of Bushes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean-
but then again, at that same year, they voted in Texas George P. Bush.
Well,
We have
and
George P. Bush in Texas, so it's not that they're really sick of the Bushes. They're just sick of the Bushes who think that they can just get into politics because they have that last name.
Jeb is also as
that's
boring
what it
as he's another wet noodle too.
Right.
Yeah. I think we probably,
mean, no.
we've probably moved
Char-
on.
charismatic. He's not charismatic.
Yeah.
You have
Well, what I'm saying with the Democrat Party is that if maybe right now they're putting the Joe Biden in front of us, thinking that's who's going to actually be the nominee, and then
I think they're going to drop someone
I'm saying
on
it has
us.
to be
Yeah.
someone else.
I think we're going to
Yeah.
get someone dropped. I believe it's going to be Hillary. You guys, everyone give their
Please.
prediction, and then we'll move on to something else.
Please,
I'm
drop
thinking it's
Hillary
going to be Hillary. I'm going on record
Drop
with
her
it.
in. Drop her
Okay.
in.
Who do you think, Harrison? Who do you think is going to be?
I think they're going to do Bloomberg. They can control him,
Okay.
and I think they can control him more than Walter thinks. And
I don't know. He's got a lot of
if
fun.
they bring in Hillary, the Democratic Party will go. Anybody who's a Bernie Sanders guy or a Tulsi Gabbard or Yang, which is a decent percentage of that party, will completely just go crazy.
Okay, who do you think, Walter? I'm going to let Antonio go last.
I really don't know. It's like I said, I don't see anybody's waiting in the wings. I mean, Bloomberg, I guess he can spend his money. Kind of an interesting. What do you do with a guy that has his own news network?
Okay.
What Trump do to him? They kicked him out of their news conference, right?
So it's 2 for Bloomy Pants. I'm predicting that's going to be his name from Trump.
But
Bloomy
he's got to
Pants.
find his news network is more pushed toward financial stuff than it is news. So
Nobody looks at that. No one looks at Bloomberg News. What do you think, Antonia? Who do you think is going to be the surprise from the? Do you think it's going to be maybe some celebrity that we don't even know about yet, like an actual like movie star or something?
When is the cutoff? I mean, does anyone know when the actual cutoff is for actually being nominated? Anyways, if Denver has anything to do with it, which I'm in Denver, so I get to at least see that part of things. The more I talk to people in Denver, I'll say I always think Joe Biden. Joe Biden's going to be it. But then every single time I talk to a leftist, they think they say Elizabeth Warren. Every single time I say Joe.
No.
So I know it sounds like I say the same thing. Like, what? No, you guys don't want another Hillary. I mean, come on, it's pretty much the same thing. But there are a lot of people who are actually excited about Elizabeth Warren. I don't get it, but that's what I keep getting in Denver. And Denver's
This is
like a socialist type of, you know, Boulder.
This is the problem with the primary system is all you are getting there is the far left, or in the far right. That's why Trump was so unique, is that he did find a way to circumvent having to be a hardcore far right conservative and win the primaries.
Yeah, Trump got the anarchy vote.
Yeah,
I'm just trying to tell you something. He got a lot of anarchy vote. I know people don't want to give any credit to that. There's lots of people that voted for Trump because anarchy.
When you mention like the black vote, a lot of you hear these black people talking about Trump, and they like him because he's in your face and loud and boisterous, and because they just like that.
Yeah. Someone's looking for Lola in the chat. She's not here right now, so I'm not sure what is going on in the chat. Okay, listen, let's switch up.
Michelle Obama would be a problem.
Oh, Michelle Obama?
She's a freaking linebacker. There's no way she's going to.
I don't think, but yeah, I don't think there's any reason for Michelle Obama to get into anything. I'm not saying anything's possible.
I mean, I think she would be a formidable opponent. Absolutely. A lot of people like the Obamas, but I mean, I don't think they're going to.
She's never ran for president.
She can go down in history as a beloved first lady, or she can take the risk of running for president and completely ruining her reputation.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I think she's gonna stay with what she has. Plus, there's I don't think the Obamas want any piece of anything going on right now.
They seem really happy. Like every single photo I see of them, they're just, I'm going to say tan, but I guess they're already tan. Yeah. Obama's tanner, at least. And he's like doing the Hawaii life or whatever. Yeah. And
plus their kids are all off in college,
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to that day. My kids are in college, but I got to get the other one. He's staying home and going to school. I want to be able to like walk around in my skivvies, so I kind of understand if they get the kids out. And then it's it's like you just got married. It's like being newlyweds. No one's going for that.
And you get to make a lot of money. That's not seen as corruption anymore, right? All those book deals, all the TV shows, Netflix. I mean, come on.
Yeah. They're enjoying it. I don't see them coming in. Okay, let's just flip here for a second. This is news. This is why I'm talking about it. I'm not really, honestly, I'm not that much into talking about this. But George Zimmerman is in the news. He's suing Trayvon Martin's family for $100 million. What do you guys think about that?
I don't know the facts.
Neighborhood.
So this is $100 million.
This is in the Truth About Guns. It says George Zimmerman sues Trayvon Martin's family attorney for defamation. Neighborhood Watch volunteer George Zimmerman, who was acquitted of the 2012 killing of Trayvon Martin, is suing the teen's parents, family attorney, and the attorney's book publisher and prosecutors who tried his case, claiming he was defamed when they allowed a witness to give false testimony in an attempt to incriminate him. Zimmerman's lawsuit, filed Wednesday, said a trial witness pretended to be the last person to talk to Martin by phone before he was killed, when the witness was actually the half-sister of the caller. And it goes on here. So what do you guys...
A lot of shady stuff in that whole thing. So
he's obsessed with fame and notoriety. There's always something. I mean, last time was in Texas, and he was being, I think he was arrested. I think because he had a firearm or something like that in Texas. But that was the last time I heard of him. Yeah. And so George Zimmerman, again, in the news, crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand. Okay, so there was some shenanigans in the case. That's okay. Obviously, that's not justice. But dude, you were found not guilty. You might want to move on here.
Stay out of the limelight.
This is what I think. I think he should just move on. Let it, just let it all go. If I was him, I would probably just go live in another country or something like that.
Isn't defamation, or maybe it's slander, I know there's actual technical legal terms to the difference, but isn't that incredibly hard to litigate anyways?
To prove in a civil court?
Yeah, especially civil. I mean, even that aspect of things, but defamation aspect of things is. I always hear that's really hard to prove. Yeah.
I think you hit it, Antonia. I think he's got like some kind of, he just wants to be in the limelight. I think, $100 million. You're not getting that. I don't know where you're getting that from. I don't know if they have some kind of money I don't know about. You're gonna bring back up the whole thing. then everyone has to litigate this. And to me, this whole situation was like a perfect storm of when people on both sides of a situation lose respect for each other, how bad things could go. Dude, just let it go, man.
Yeah.
You already won. You already won. Let it go. So that's but I figured I'd bring that up because hey, that's a gun thing. It's gun related.
I guess it is. Yeah.
Yeah. I see no one has.
I didn't see anything about any guns in that, but yeah.
It was on the truth about guns. It was a story. No, that's not good enough. Okay, fine.
I saw it there, and I was like, okay, whatever.
Okay. Let me do this. Let's take a little break from talking about. We got into some serious stuff there. Antonia, are you into cars? Are you a car guy at all? Yeah. Do you like cars?
I identify as a woman, but
you said a car guy.
Yeah.
Am I a car person?
Okay.
No.
Are you a car chick? Can I say that? Are you a car chick?
I thought I was, and then I spoke to Coleon once, and I was like telling about a certain car that I always dreamed of having, and he like laughed in my face. So I apparently I'm not a car person. So yeah,
I'm just laughing because I could see that. I could visualize
exchange.
that. Yeah, I could visualize.
Laughing at me. Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you look at him reviewing guns, he's gonna put he's gonna string so many words into that thing. So now you're not considering yourself a car chick. I can't call you car guy. I know. Look at that.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not gonna apologize though.
I like cars. I love cars. Absolutely. I'm just not. I'm not knowledgeable.
You're not that much into it. Oh, okay. All right. I was just, because the 2020 Chevy Corvette is coming out, and I know I was looking online. I can't throw it up on the screen here for some reason because I'm having technical difficulties. But there's like a wide body version of. Do you like what kind of cars do you like? American cars? Are you into like the exotic Italian cars or something like that? Are you into like soccer mom minivans? What are you into?
No, I'm not.
You're not planning on having.
I know enough car guys.
Tell us what kind of car you like. Tell us. We're not gonna make fun of you. I promise. No one's gonna make fun of you.
Dream car when it's actually like reasonable. Well, not reasonable. Like I could buy it now. GOA is not, making that money for me. But my dream car would be probably a Ferrari versus a Lamborghini. Okay. I love this. I think it's sexy. I think the curvature of the frame and everything. I like the curves. I like the curves of the Ferrari.
Okay. So do you believe that a car should be feminine or masculine looking?
I mean, I think it should correlate with the driver.
Really?
I think for me, I want a feminine car. For my husband, I would like a masculine car. But then again, I like the roar of the powerful, the aspect of powerful car too. So I think this is dependent on the person. But for me, I like feminine.
Okay, that's it. The reason why I asked that is because to me, I like cars that have feminine, like you said, the curves. I like cars that have curves that look more feminine. You know what I mean? I'm into that kind of thing. What do you guys think? What do you when you look at cars, do you look at it that way? Like, do you say, oh, I like the curves on this thing? Like this car has a big booty. Are you guys like that? See, look at them. They don't want to say anything now.
I don't.
If Antonia wasn't here, you'd have all kinds of stuff to say.
I'll say it. I'm not scared. I don't equate the car shapes with booty. Sorry.
You don't?
No.
Oh, no. Okay. That's interesting.
I mean, there are definitely some cars, especially some of the European cars, and also like some of the higher end Toyotas and Acuras and that sort of thing that are a little more feminine, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's what I think.
I like them for what they are. Still, I'm a truck and SUV guy, so. It really doesn't do anything for me to buy go out and buy a $300,000, $500,000 car that I'm never going to drive. I'd rather much have a really nice, like right now I'm looking, Ford came out with a trimmer package. I'm thinking an F-250 Platinum with a trimmer package. That's something I'm looking at maybe getting next year, and I'll drive it for 15 years. I'm so excited about that, but I'm not like you, Hank, where I lust over the newest one in trade every year.
Right. Well, first of all, let me just say this. There are some expensive ass trucks out there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So don't even front Yeah, I live in the country.
I'm from Dallas, so that's
Yeah.
where the Dodge Ram,
Yeah,
like, you know,
right here in
wannabe
Florida, dudes drop
country
money.
people.
Yeah, there's guys I know that have like a Lamborghini money in their truck.
Oh
I'm just
yeah,
trying to tell you
absolutely.
something.
And it's only getting more expensive. I mean, for, you know, some reasons like China, but
Yeah.
I'm not going to go into that. But I mean, in Texas, growing up in Texas especially, like that was my norm to see trucks. So yeah, I'd rather see a guy with a truck any day than any type of
Yeah.
expensive sports car.
Yeah,
So.
now the kids are putting Walter. What do you think about the kids? I'm trying to get the curmudgeon answer here. What do you think about the kids putting all the lights under the trucks now? Do you see that? Have you seen that?
Whatevs.
I see that a lot here. I
That's
see that a lot.
new. That's not new.
No, under
I mean,
like in the wheel well and
yeah.
okay.
I think it's just not illegal anymore. I think it was illegal in a lot of states for a long time.
It depends on the colors you use too,
Okay,
Yeah.
right.
So
Yeah.
and where you put them. You know, you don't put them in the up by where the lights are. Lights. You know.
Yeah.
You don't do it in Florida because I know you'll get pulled over. So.
Oh, I see that a lot in Florida. Go ahead.
Yeah, you don't put blue and red lights in your grill.
No,
Or
I
I'll
see
find
the
you.
kids like
okay.
pulled over in the malls, parked up, and then they have lights like their whole car is glowing underneath. You don't see that?
Yeah.
I see that here in Gainesville. I don't know.
Well, it's around. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you know.
So when the Cybertruck comes in, Hank, are you going to buy a full-length leather coat like Samuel L. Jackson wears in the Avengers movies
Let
to
me
wear driving that truck?
Okay.
I feel
Wait,
like
you're talking
that's
about Elon
necessary.
Musk's truck?
Yeah. So
And
you
iPad.
Oh, okay.
iPad.
okay? So you
gotta
don't
get
know.
another iPad.
So you don't know this, Antonia. I did actually order a Cybertruck.
Oh,
Positive.
Yes, I did.
wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
If you were still in Texas, that would put me on sexy level, right? Cybertruck.
Not that truck. No,
See?
no.
Don't worry. When I hook it up, you'll see what I'm talking about. You'll see
yeah.
what I'm talking about. So first of all, let me just answer your question, Harrison. What makes you think I don't already have trench coats, son?
You might have one.
I got trench coats. I'm from New York City.
He's got old school. That's back when they used to wear trench coats.
Yeah, man. I have trench coats.
When I saw that truck, when I saw the Cybertruck, though, my first thought was you have to dress like Samuel L. Jackson in the Avengers movies or like the guys from the Matrix to look right.
I think it's more Matrix.
No.
Matrix.
Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get super short shorts and flip-flops. No.
Oh, dear.
I already, yeah. First of all,
you are no longer my friend.
look at how I dress right now. I mean, I'm that Cybertruck dude already. I'm already dressing like I'm in. Have you seen this mohawk? I'm already every day. I look like I'm in a cyberpunk movie.
If you're going to do that, I think what you should do is you should just go full like Caddyshack.
Wait, hold on. What?
Just confuse the heck out of people. Dress like you're from the Caddyshack series in the 80s.
Listen, so you guys think that I'm not actually? I know you guys think I'm not getting. If they make that thing, I'm getting one. I'm getting one. I'm gonna drop. Well, because there's Walter thinks it's never going to be made. It's not going to actually be out there.
You can't put deposits down, and I guess you could.
Only $100. Come on. Man.
I think.
That's a deposit.
Yeah, the deposit's $100. If you want to reserve one.
That's actually great market research because
then
it's like who's going to put some type of skin in the game.
Do you know how many orders? You know how many orders they got the last time I checked?
Was it $2 million worth or something?
They got 250,000 orders. So 250,000 times 100. What is that?
20.
The novelty.
20. Is that 25 million? I don't know. Is it? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
it adds like 2 zeros, right? So, huh?
They're like 40,000 each or something, like 39. Like a pretty.
Yeah, the entry level I think is 39.
60, 70 grand.
Right. Okay, that makes sense.
But isn't it impossible to get a Model 3 in an entry level? Like you've got to wait months and months. My cousin was telling me like the average Tesla, even the Model 3s are like $55K.
Yeah.
Just with the options and everything they add on.
I don't know about the other Tesla stuff because the other Tesla cars don't interest me. That Cybertruck interests me because it's so radical looking. And I'm from the 80s. Whatever.
Oh, okay? Yeah, there you go.
Judge me if you want to. When I see it, I'm
back
like...
to the future. Back to the future.
Yeah, it looks like a DeLorean. It looks like it came out of, it's in the apocalypse already. Yes. But what we're gonna do with it when I actually get one, we'll see.
Well, I'm sure there are people who had this same conversation when, like, I don't know, iPods and, like, I don't know, like iPhones came out and they're like, that's never gonna, who knows? Who knows what's gonna be in a few years?
The big thing with these trucks, though, is if you put weight in the bed or if you try to tow a trailer behind it, their range of 500 miles goes down to like 100
with
miles.
Electric. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think enough people are going to – most people don't use their trucks to tow. They don't use them to haul heavy loads in the bed. But they use them enough for that. I mean, where I live, I couldn't drive what I would do in a typical day to go pick up, say, an air compressor with a trailer or something and get back to my house without having to charge in the middle of it. And
okay. So is it just me and you on this panel that have pickup trucks? Because I have a pickup truck. Does anyone else have a pickup truck?
I've got a 1-ton SUV. So.
Oh, you've got an SUV. Oh, so you don't even have a pickup truck, man. Walter, how about you? Do you have a pickup
you guys
truck?
and your pickup trucks. Let me see. I have a Humvee. I have a Pinsgauer.
Oh, well,
I have
okay.
I have a 2.5-ton military truck. I have a Suburban.
Is any one of those a military pickup truck?
Well, a Humvee is kind of.
Okay, true. All right, fine. I was just gonna say, like, I have a pickup truck, and I do put stuff in the bed, but most of the time it's not for that. Not everyone's like. There's a lot of people out there now just getting pickup trucks, and they don't really use it to tow a bunch of heavy things, and they're not really doing all of that. And Lola actually drives the pickup truck all the time.
Very few people use a truck as a truck. It's just
She complains to me like, "Oh, I gotta drive the pickup truck. It's so horrible."
It's so tough.
Yeah. But really and truly, she likes that. She was telling me the other day, she likes being, because first of all, she's height challenged.
I am too. I understand that. I think that's why I like trucks too.
Yeah, she feels more powerful when she's sitting over
you
everyone.
can see everybody, right? Yeah.
Right,
she thinks I'm crazy. I like sitting very down low in my car. I feel like I like that thing of my car, like, sitting down low and being planted. That's what I miss about my R8. I feel like my car now is not low enough. I like being real down on the ground, kind of. Whatever. Okay, you guys are looking at me funny. I'm gonna move on.
Planted. Just planted.
Yeah. What's wrong with planted? Why?
Let me guess. This study is being. You guys are bringing that story because of the fact that Elon Musk shot the glass with a 9mm.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah.
I am more than willing to try out my PSA AKV on that.
Okay, so
Tesla.
The body is supposed to be 9mm proof. I don't know. I don't think you could throw a bunch of 9mm rounds at it. But hey,
but
listen.
Then you throw a baseball bat or whatever that was that he threw.
Yeah, I think that was a solid steel ball bearing. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That they threw at there. Yeah, so that's gonna pretty much smash anything up, in my opinion. Although they said they threw it at it a couple times, it didn't do anything. Okay, here is a story that I'm going to throw up here. If anyone's looking for it, I can't put this up on the screen, but it's in the Washington Examiner. It says ATF, 423 million guns in America, 1.2 per person, 8.1 billion rounds of ammunition a year. So it says America's love affairs with guns is only getting stronger. Amen. New federal data shows that there are 422.9 million firearms in circulation, or about 1.2 guns for every person in the country. What's more, despite years of criticism of modern, quote-unquote, assault-style rifles such as the AR-15 and AK-47, there are record 17.7 million in private hands, proving that this is the most popular gun around. And last year alone, the arms industry produced 8.1 billion rounds of ammunition. This is all from the ATF. What do you guys think about that?
Yes. I was just thinking about how we had a little over 300 or something to comparable to the U.S. population, but now it's going up.
Yeah.
I like how the birth rate is going down, but the gun rate is going up. That's good job, America.
Yeah, we can't let that 0.2 exist. We got to make it a round number.
Absolutely. Can't blame that birth rate thing on me. Sorry. And
what,
some
the
younger
birth rate
folks that need to learn how to,
the
get together.
The birth rate going down, you mean? Yeah. I think younger people now are having babies older, which is probably it's not a bad thing. Yeah.
Having cyber babies, yes.
Even people that are 10 years older than me now, they're just now starting to have kids. Everybody there seems to have kids right out of high school, or whereas they used to wait till like late 20s, now they're waiting till late 30s.
Yeah. But, so let me just remind those late 30 baby makers, your kid's you're gonna be 18, and you're gonna go. They're going to be 18. You're going to get the hell out of my life. Get out of my house.
Yeah. My advice: get them early. Get rid of them.
I want to run naked in the house or with my underwear. Get out. Right.
Walter, this is what I was saying earlier, and you didn't support me.
Well, I'm just saying, but
because I'm trying to get back in that groove with Lola, and I can't. My son needs to go off to college.
Well, going off to college costs you more money too.
Yeah. Well, that's true.
So,
yep,
that is also a problem.
That's going to cut into your Tesla budget there. Come on.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Come on.
Yeah, I think that. So the fact that this is still going up is kind of interesting to me, because it seems like under Trump there's less. Like, I thought there's obviously less panic, right? No one's panicking. There's a lot of people not paying attention to all the laws and everything, but people are still buying guns.
Well, yeah, they are. I mean, and if you buy more guns, you got to buy more ammo. It's like,
yeah. But it's interesting. I don't know. Am I the only person that feels that there's less people now paying attention to what's going on with politics around this, or do you guys feel that way also?
Around the gun vote, or the
I feel like even in the gun community that people are not worried because Trump is president. They're like, no one's going to take it.
Yeah, that's a false sense of security, because, like I said before, the Department of Justice is still scheming, even though because they are. Trust me, they're
and not the GOA members. I think the GOA members know that there's been a lot of stuff that Trump is not doing well on the 2A side. So
one second he comes out all pro 2A, and next second he gets wishy-washy, and it's just like.
So you feel like everyone's voting with their wallet here? More people are buying guns, or do you think it's just still us just all buying all the guns? Or
no. Every day there's thousands of new 18-year-olds. Oh, I forgot they can't buy guns in Florida anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So every day there's thousands. Well, I mean, the day I turned 18, I went and bought a gun. So
that's a shame. That's a shame that we have that. Here in Florida now. But I am seeing more and more people buying guns that never, like I was at a dealership today. And there were literally people in there talking to me about guns. Now, that's Florida, so I don't know if we could count that. Like in Texas, there's probably people talking about that too. But it seems to me like there are more people out there going, I think I'm going to get some guns.
Yeah, when I go to Boulder, which is not too far away from me, and I talk about guns at the Subaru dealership, it's definly a different... reaction
Subaru.
that I get. Yeah.
Hold on. Let's guess what the reaction is. They're not happy?
Just a little,
Okay.
That's the type of people over there.
Out in Colorado, my gosh, everywhere you turn around, there's a Subaru. It's like
we're gonna talk about
and I get it because of snow and stuff.
Yeah,
but
Antonia,
it was just amazing,
Yeah, Antonia, are you saying you have a Subaru, Antonia?
No, I don't have a Subaru. So sorry, let me make sure that's clarified.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not. Yeah. So wait, is there something wrong with having a Subaru?
Now I'm the bad guy.
There's some stereotypes associated with Subarus. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't know if I want to ask Walter what the stereotypes are, but okay.
The crazy part is my great uncle, super conservative guy, drives a Subaru. The manager of my gun store drives a Subaru.
Yeah.
Another YouTuber I know actually bought a Subaru as a daily driver, and he's a gun YouTuber. And those are the only people I know in Subarus.
My son has a Subaru.
Yeah.
One of my old teachers who's super far left, like leftist as they get. But Subaru seems to be mostly conservative in my area.
Mm-hmm. I think, well, first of all, so like in a place like Colorado, you probably have a lot of Subarus because it's all-wheel drive.
Yeah,
right, exactly.
Yeah,
it's very practical.
You're going to see a lot of them. When I first moved to Gainesville, there were a lot of Subarus. I think when they look at this, a lot of people, and I don't have the article in front of me, but a lot of Subaru owners are nerdy guys, like, IT dudes somewhere. Or lesbians. Let's just, I'm just
you brought it up. I didn't bring it up. Yeah.
So
there's actually a whole article on that.
Yeah.
Well, look at Subaru's advertising. They pointed toward the dog-loving, young couple, running around,
Colorado.
just having fun, and
But I think overall, I think a lot of people that get into, so if we're talking about Subarus right now, I don't want to make anyone think that I'm not a fan of Subarus. I think there's lots of people that when they get a Subaru, they actually do become fans of it. It's all-wheel drive car. It's, built pretty solid.
I'll take a WRX. I'll take one.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. So,
the majority
I'm
of people
saying
that
the
Subarus,
stereotype.
yeah. Yeah.
the majority of people that Subaru advertises towards are pretty fiscally conservative as well.
Yeah.
But low cost of maintenance, they last forever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, there's if you look at it, for every car, there's like prototype of, the person who gets this car is this, so Brian Quick says lesbian tend to be practical broads. So
How do you know if I should laugh? Because that might be true.
I don't have any input on that.
I think it's a good statement. It's a good, it's
practical broad.
It's a good statement. Yeah. So I'm not trying to knock. There's some Subarus that are really cool. So,
I'll take a WRX, like I said.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
So, do you mind if I ask
Sure.
a question? So, speaking about this, Antonio, the fact that you are now in charge of kind of outreach towards a certain demographic for Gun Owners of America, what is the best way to hit these more left, I don't like to say liberal, but more leftist leaning people that might be a little more open to hearing the argument? What's
Other
the
than
best
just
way to
like
approach
preaching
that?
to the choir or something like that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, wait. I think I'm going to repeat back that question because I thought I knew what you were saying until the last part. Are you saying like how do I reach across like the aisle in terms of the whole gun issue when it comes to like people on the left or more on that side?
Not you specifically.
Oh, okay.
But what do you think the best overall? Because you're one person. There's only so much
Right.
you can do, but just overall best strategy you'd like to point your organization to do that. What
The biggest
What do you see that
success
being?
I've seen, and for me, I think that's one of the great things about Empower 2A, to be able to see the last 2 years, is that all of our leaders are young, high school, sometimes mostly college women who everybody said that they're really hard to reach on the gun community side or the conservative side or libertarian side. I mean, I know libertarians have a hard time with that side especially, but here we are. We have all these women who are not only pro-Second Amendment, but I already did one-on-one calling for all of these leaders. They're completely on board with GOA. They're excited about this merger. They've known about GOA for a long time. I mean, so they're obviously out there. And what the common denominator I see is that the ones that especially that have switched have told me, because of the whole feminist argument that I tend to bring about when it comes to this whole debate, they were able to see like, oh, okay, yeah, as a feminist, then I should be pro-gun. And it shouldn't be about being on the Democrat side or Republican side, even though a lot of them do even switch over completely. So I think for me, what I've seen is a lot of relating to the other person and what that's important to them. Like, for example, women and female empowerment is important to a lot of women, regardless of, people make fun of it or not. It's something that a lot of people on the right side or on the gun side have seen a void because been all on the left, or the right doesn't want to talk about it, or the gun community doesn't want to talk about it. So we're talking about it, and we're getting people on the other side to join us because of that.
What's your definition of feminist? When you say feminist, what's your definition of that? The reason why I'm asking is because I'm sure if someone's just tuning in, which if you are, smash the thumbs up.
Oh, they're also asking who else is there here besides me and you, Hank? Some people coming in late. So.
Oh, okay, yeah. If you're coming in, we've got Antonia Okafor. She's newly of GOA. She has a hat and everything that I'm very jealous of. Check that out. Looking good. I like the hat. I also like the, what do you call it, twisty braids?
The twisty bird. Passion twist.
Passion twist, sorry. Yeah.
Completely, yeah.
I'm going to hear about that one later, I'm sure. Yeah, so, Lola's not here. That's why. So yeah, we've got Antonia Okafor, newly of GOA, representing GOA, and then we also have Harrison of Harry's Holsters and Walter Keller, and we're here talking about stuff. So you said that you're a feminist. What's your definition of feminist?
Yeah, I always bring it back to the fact that feminism did not start in what we see today. Like, that's not the example of the women's suffrage movement, of people like Susan B. Anthony, who were pro-life, who actually wanted women to defend themselves, who wanted women to be independent as well. The Christian temperance movement, which actually the women's feminist movement kind of paused until they got that legislation through, which, I mean, prohibition is not a great thing, but it's definitely showing the roots of the early feminist movement, the first wave movement, before it was co-opted by radical leftists that are also anti-gun, because that was also something in history you didn't see. Just like with a lot of African Americans, for most of our history in America, we have been pro-gun. So I'm talking about reclaiming what feminism really was, truly is, and bringing it back into the conversation of not hiding from feminism because we don't think as pro-gun people or conservatives that we don't have a place in it. I think that's absolutely false, and history shows that's not true either.
Okay, very good. Do either one of you guys have a question or want to add to that before I?
So I want to know how you find, like, in the past, I've run across the idea of doing some products that are very female centric, and I came to the conclusion that they're very hard to market in the gun industry because, and this will all tie in a little bit, because essentially women figures in the gun industry tend to be a bit extreme on they could be the Subaru driving people that Brian Quick was describing, or they tend to just wear a bikini and shoot a gun, and that's their appeal.
You're talking about in social media. You're talking about the people who are represented in social media in the gun community. Okay.
So how do you target, or target might not be the right word, but how do you target finding new blood for your group? How do you do that? Like, it just seems like there's this massive amount where it's hard to, people might be primed for it, but it's so hard to reach them.
Absolutely. And that's what I saw as a new gun owner in the Second Amendment community coming in a few years ago in college, was that I didn't really see myself, and not like a color aspect. It was more, I'm not in the military. I'm not joining the military. I'm not going to be in law enforcement, on one side. And I'm not going to do the whole gun bunny thing, which I know is a whole conversation. And just for the record, if you want to do those things, fine, that's on you. But as long as you're, authentic to the community, okay, I'm not going to judge. But really, I didn't see my person in there. I didn't see another female like me. And so that's why, part of the reason why I started Empower 2A, because I wanted other women. I knew that representation, again, matters. And I was going to get more people who were in the middle, who are just the average everyday person who might be more passionate about their God-given right to self-defense, and understand the correlation between female empowerment and why that would be important for oppressive groups to have firearms in general. I was able to attract other women who thought like me. And so that's kind of part of the whole, I don't want to say the strategy, but that's what's initially has happened, is that, you attract what you are. So, yeah.
So what I'm getting out of that is you didn't see yourself necessarily represented where you looked. So that's what made you think, okay, I should be here because then I'm representing people like me. Just adding another piece to the puzzle.
Right. And to be fair, like, the media also doesn't, I think I was talking about Jezebel. They did an article on quote unquote gun bunnies. Well, they put Amy Robbins in there, who's the CEO of Alexa Athletica, former NRA host. And they put Dana Lash in there.
I don't know how they, they're beautiful women, but how do they become gun bunnies?
Exactly. So that's also the shift I've seen is that because you are, want to put makeup on, then there are people on some certain side, even in the gun community, that don't, they think you're glamorizing guns or whatever, or you're a gun bunny because you might be attractive. Yeah. I don't see.
By the way, there's
you
dudes.
Can be attractive and smart and be in the community.
Yeah,
so,
I always say this. There's dudes that are gun bunnies too, by the way.
Oh,
if you think about the definition of what let's just talk real quick. What is the definition, or what's your definition of what a gun bunny is? And Walter and Harrison, if you guys have a definition for it, but I'd like to know what Antonia's definition is of a gun bunny that we're talking about here for reference.
It's been so skewed. I don't know what it is. Like I said, like the Jezebel article not too long ago. So when people are thinking like, for example, I was also in that list as a gun bunny in there. So I know I'm not a gun bunny, but from what I've seen, an actual definition is at the early like models who have nothing to do with the actual activism or being pro-gun, or even saying later on that, yeah, I don't think we should have guns at all and everybody should have a gun ban. Those are the people who are actually gun bunnies because they're not authentic to the actual movement. They are just there to sell firearms.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm not going to give you, I don't have names, but that's what I think of it.
No, I understand where you're coming from. Let me just say real quick, Tyven Show gave us $5. He wants to say Merry Christmas to everyone. Thank you, Tyven Show. Merry Christmas to you. Okay, I don't know if Walter or Harrison want to jump in here with the gun bunny definition. I'll be happy to do it if you guys don't want to step on the line.
No, I'm not going to step on anything. I
got something for you to step on right here.
I would probably say I would kind of agree about the gun bunny definition. If you're just there because you're pretty and you're holding the gun, you're trying to sell something. I mean, that's that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, here's my thing. I think the classical definition of what a gun bunny is in the gun community, this is my interpretation of it for whatever reason that we have to put all these caveats on it, is that someone who's just strictly about the sexuality of who they are, right? So it's predominantly women, okay? But I think this could also be a guy, as I said, someone who's accentuating that. So if you're out shooting a gun and you have on a bikini top, and there's casings and everything going everywhere, that's not practical. I think if you're a woman and you have on, you're dressed properly, right? But you just look sexy however you dress. Well, hey, I mean, then that's a different thing. I think if you're going out of your way to be dressed sexy and that's the only thing that you're doing, you're just trying to put pure sex out there in order to sell whatever you're selling, and if that thing happens to be guns, then you fall into what we can categorize as being a gun bunny. Now, that doesn't mean that I think if you are dressed in a sexy way and you're out there shooting that you're a gun bunny. I see people who shoot like that or have tops on that it's going to be very easy for stuff to get in the boobies or whatever is going on and burn them. I mean, and I think if you just don't care about that and you don't think that that's really a threat or whatever, then fine. But I think that there are people who we see that that's predominantly what they do. I wouldn't hold it against someone if in some situation they just look really good and then they're doing that. I also wouldn't hold it against someone if they just like to dress like that. This is how they dress all the time. And then they're out there, doing things and showing it. But I think if you do it all the time, then you're probably going to fall into the category of being a gun bunny. And I think people have the right to look at that because ultimately what you're doing is you're trying to attract people to what you're doing based on, you're sexy. And I think there's guys who do that too. I've seen stuff of guys just doing it strictly for, look at me, I'm just this real sexy guy. Check out my stuff. So I think we can put that in that category. Right or wrong?
There are definitely different levels of gun bunnies, from, as Antonia said, to I know nothing about guns and I'm just standing here in a bikini showing you a gun, to girls that actually know their stuff, but they're still using sex as the major component to sell a product or push something. And then there's also, unfortunately, it does, and there's a place for it. Mm-hmm. There's no doubt there's a place, but also, unfortunately, there are very few, and you named a few of them, few influencers, women that I could point my mom or my sister or one of my friends to and say, this is somebody you need to look at and watch as a good example. Mm-hmm. And that's really unfortunate.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
And listen, like I said, I don't think there's anything wrong with someone being sexy. If you look, being sexy is something you can't do much about.
Thank you, Hank.
Yeah, I mean, this is the reality. They said if I had like an 8-pack or whatever, if I had a 6-pack or whatever, you guys would see me. I would be out there all the time shooting like shirtless or whatever. I mean, and then you could put me in that. Listen, I'm telling you, I see guys doing the same thing.
Oh,
they realize there's something sexy about them. So I've seen gun guys singing, washing cars, and doing all kinds of other things that are supposed to be sexy. I've even seen some gun guys doing stupidness, and they're basically doing the stupidness to make you look at it. If you think about what I'm saying, right? If you're putting on a spectacle to make someone look at this thing, that to me, in my mind, can also be equivalent to the same kind of thing. So it might not be like what we traditionally think of as sexy, but if you're doing something stupid to make everyone look at what you're doing, then I think that this is an attention grab that we're talking about. And attention grab is basically what the just strictly gun bunny thing is, versus someone who's just sexy and they're shooting stuff and doing things, but maybe there's like some angle in there that, oh, look, they got nice hips, nice booty, or whatever it is. But if they're still doing something practical and safe and relevant in the gun community, then I don't know if I'm going to like really fault them that much for it.
So how would you classify Matt Best with Black Rifle Coffee?
I'm not getting in this conversation.
Oh, well, I'm not worried about it.
I'll classify it. I'll classify it as, I guess, wife or whatever the other ones are in it. Yeah. Boom. Yeah. Bingo.
First of all,
I'm not saying his wife. I'm saying him.
Yeah, but let me say this. I like Matt Best in a lot of ways. I like what he's done in a lot of ways. I think he's a genuine gun guy and everything. But he's done a lot of stuff that's just strictly for that, and I'm not going to hold it against him like I just told you. I've seen Matt Best. I've seen him in high heels and what is it, like tights and stuff like that, right? But he did what he did to bring attention to his channel and all that and be entertaining and everything. But at the same time, I would never, I wouldn't say that discredits him from the, he's in any way discrediting the gun community. He's bringing attention to what he's doing, and there's some practical aspect of it, and it's grown and become, Matt Best has gone all the way to, like, I see him now on Fox News in a suit. You can ask Lola, I'm like, oh shit, look, there's Matt Best on Fox News looking all sexy, It's good. I'm just trying to tell you that it's not necessarily a bad thing to be a gun bunny. Where I think it comes down to it, like I think someone said this already in the conversation, how genuine are you about the gun community?
Right.
How genuine are you about it at the end of the day? So I don't think Matt did there's nothing that he's done that I think that is wrong, because he wasn't just doing it all to, I don't think he was doing it all to sell coffee or T-shirts or anything like that, even though that was that was obviously an end result in it. But he's done things, he's entertained us all, but still at the end of the day, he's a guy that cares about the Second Amendment community, on and on.
You don't have the growth he's had without being real.
Yeah, and if I could do it, like if I was all cutesy like Demo Ranch, oh, then I'll be all cutesy up in my, hey, I'll do it too. I've seen, like, for example, Demo Ranch, one of his, Matt from Demo Ranch, one of his thumbnails in a video is him like this on a boat or something like that, showing the thing. But does that take away from him being like an actual gun guy, or?
Does it really matter?
No, it's just why we're going to watch this particular thing.
You do you, I do me.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I think people make a point to focus on that just as a diversion from real issues. It's not real. It's not real issue stuff.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah. So,
I'd rather see somebody entertain me than some boring monotone guy just going, well, yeah, this is my gun, and that's and that goes across the board. Whether you're telling me about politics, or you're telling me about your gun, or your tires on your car. I want a little bit of.
Also, everyone has their thing that thing that they're into, right, Antonia? I think no matter what, this is you. Like, what you do, what you put out there in the world, this is who you genuinely are. You've been doing it from a very young age. You talk to people about the progression and everything, but this is the human being that you are. Now, if we look at you just for the way that you look, that's what becomes subjective, right? But I think that you're not unattractive. Do you understand what I'm saying? So because you're a good-looking woman, if you like do your hair or put on makeup, that doesn't make me say, okay, she's just trying to be,
sexy.
She's just trying to be a gun bunny to get my attention.
Right.
But then I know that you actually like get out there and go to schools and fight to get people to get the rights to carry on campus and all that kind of stuff. You've taken blows on top of that. I think that's always a qualifier. You've taken your losses, right, along the way. You've been, we were talking about that at the beginning. Like, I think it's not just YouTube that's come down on you, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, I mean, yeah. So, and that's what I mean by the whole genuine thing being authentic to the movement. I think that's the most important thing. The reason why you have a firearm to even, the freedom to be able to do whatever with that firearm, are you making sure you're preserving those freedoms so you can continue to do those things? I mean, that's why I think at the end of the day, it's, we make sure that everyone has the liberty, the freedom to do what they want, and to protect themselves. Cool.
Yeah.
But do I feel that I have responsibility? I will say this. So with Empower 2A and the young women that I have, I feel like, kind of mama right now, to grow these women, to mature them, to help them in the gun community, because I want them to be the faces of the gun community. I want them to have the communication skills and know what they're talking about. So I'm going to have standards. I already have standards when it comes to what they post when it comes to Empower 2A, or them representing us as an organization. So I think everyone has standards, and what that's going to look like, I'm going to find out, I think, when it comes to like pushing boundaries and stuff. But yeah, I think that's kind of the difference.
Yeah, I mean, I think we got into this because Harrison was asking, like, how do we talk to other people? And I think the way we talk to other people is they do need to see lots of different kinds of people. It's what we were talking about with Maj. I think, the reason why he has the effect that he has on people is because he's very genuinely who he is, right? And people associate with that. Whereas, like, someone else might be very genuinely, okay, they don't curse and carry on, and people associate with that. Or someone may look this way, and people like that. This other person looks, another way. And whatever it is that brings people into this thing that you do, I think, like you're saying, if you bring them in and you're responsible about the way that you're doing it, then I could look past, even if, you're trying to push, something that's, just basically on the surface, I should say.
And director of outreach, though, is not just the student organizations. It's getting, more women. I mean, people who are not not the traditional gun people, right? Okay. Like, we have to do a better job of, reaching out to a lot of different sectors. But with all of that, I still think it's, what's genuine in that community. I mean, I talk with Maj about this all the time. Look, I'm not going to be genuine if I start talking like Maj and I go to Philly. Yeah. That's not genuine. Okay. Right. I grew up in Carrollton, Texas. Okay. Most like 80% white. I mean, that's suburbs. That's right. Where I grew up. But I can probably go to Spelman or Howard, right? Which is an HBCU that tends to have more of the elite, of, African Americans in America. So I'm not saying I'm from that, but we probably have more in common than me coming from somewhere else. So I think that's part of the authenticity, is that regardless of what you look like your color or even your gender, that you have a community that, like you said, that you see yourself in, even within the community, because there's different communities within the Second Amendment community. So,
yeah. And everyone gets to pick what that is when it's for you. Like, for example, Lola, has some similarities with you. She wasn't born here, but she's African, and she came here. She grew up in Maryland. If people talk to her on the phone, they think she's white or whatever. But when so for her to see you, she was like, oh, that's really cool. There's like another person of African ancestry. I'm sure you consider yourself an American. So does she. But, there's people who like that, believe it or not, right? Because there might be someone from just that thing, just your name is what I'm trying to say to you. Just Okafor makes someone go, wait a second, is that a Nigerian? hold on, there's like some Nigerian people here who are all about guns. If that's the little thing that it takes for people of, let's say, African descent or Africans who are here in America to realize this is what's so awesome about America, right? This is the reason why America is so awesome, so great, then that opens up the whole thing, and then, you know, they can get into that. And I would take that. Me personally, as a gun guy, I would take whatever it is. This is why it takes all kinds of different people getting out there and doing it, because we just need to, like, pull people in and to realize, like, this is one of the things, I think, in America that is actually for everyone. There's lots of people out there that think the Second Amendment doesn't have anything to do with me. You know, it's a gun thing, and I don't care about that.
That's lack of basic education. And that's one of the things that's lacking. A lot of people don't have any basic history education, for example. Why is there a Second Amendment? You know, people go, I don't know what a Second Amendment. Well, you never got any history lessons, or you never listened while you were in the history lesson about how the country started and all the things the reasons for that. That's
or maybe they were brainwashed. Maybe they got that history lesson, but someone brainwashed them when they gave it to them to make them think that, you know, maybe they were hearing some of these things, but thinking, oh, this is why people, because that could happen. I think that, you know, those kinds of things can happen.
Like that term gun violence, which is just basically a cover for people violence. And, you know, it's like, so sooner you take away the gun just sits there like all these guns here do in this room. They just sit there and mind their own business. This one did fire today, by the way, too.
On its own?
But no, I had to pick it up and use the old, you know, this thing.
Yeah,
right. Well, that's what I'm kind of getting at. Behind every gun, there's one of these, and this is attached to this, and that's attached to that. And you know, so
my brain,
or the lack of it, So,
but there's things that happen to people, I think. I mean, I know we don't have that much time here, but I think there's things that happen to people, and then certain programming that you get in society, like movies, for example. This has been out there before. Movies, did you guys see this thing where the movie in Hollywood had this code of, if you have guns in there, these are the things that need to happen? So if someone goes and buys a gun, someone needs to come rob the house, take the gun from them, or they need to shoot themselves accidentally. There's always these things you see in movies that make people think that they don't need a gun. And it always makes the person with the gun in the movie look like a bad guy. And I would illustrate that to you this way. When I first went and got my CCW, Lola did not want to go with me. And then when I came back and I was talking to friends about it and they were all excited and they wanted to go do it, she was like, wait a second, you know, and then she decided to go. At the end of her doing all of that, she said, you know, my whole life I thought the guns were for the bad guys. And you would think, oh, please, you know, how could you think that? But there's lots of people who think that way. Whatever it is that happened to them in their life, they think that the guns are for the bad guys, and they don't believe that you would ever have to defend yourself. They somehow think that that's going to be magically taken care of by the government or somebody else.
Right. Well, I think that's part of the problem too, is that when you go to college campuses and you just automatically think that, oh, they're going to be anti-gun because they're leftists or whatever. Most of them are apathetic. They don't have an understanding of firearms. They probably haven't even seen a firearm in their life. And that's why we should educate, and we should have an open mind that they, like you said, like I thought the same thing. I was like, oh, until I finally made that connection that, oh, I am a good woman, right? And I can use a firearm for good. Oh, okay. Maybe there's something else to this Second Amendment. So, sorry,
absolutely.
I think I cut off somebody.
Yeah, go ahead, Harrison.
I was just going to say, you know, owning firearms is a responsibility. And sadly enough, in our society, a lot of people they don't want that responsibility. They don't want a lot of responsibilities they should have.
That's true. That's good.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I think that's the thing. I think you're right. Like, people just don't want to be the one, you know, to have to deal with it. But then who do we abdicate that to? That's the question that you have to ask someone, you know? And like, one of the things I always try to tell people is, if you cannot defend something, you don't actually have it. So, you know, a lot of things in life are imaginary. Okay? It's imaginary. It's not just money. There's lots of things that are imaginary. If you think you have this phone or whatever it is, you know, if you think you have something, but you don't have any way of defending that, then you don't really have it. The reason why I think that way, because I grew up in New York, and the way that someone would rob you is they'd be like, oh, that's a really nice Sony Walkman you have there. What you going to do for it? Basically, what you're going to do for it means, hey, are you ready to fight for this? You know? And if you're not ready to fight for it, then you just need to run it. Like, give it to me, because that's why I'm here. Do you understand? So that's the thing that happens in life. If you cannot defend something that you think you have, you don't have it. If you can't defend your home, you don't have a home. If you can't defend your children, you don't have children. If you can't defend your wife, yourself, whatever the hell it is, if you cannot defend that thing, then you don't actually have it. You're just living under an illusion that you have it. Okay? What it actually comes down to is when you have to actually fight for that thing. And by the way, that's the same thing with guns or the Second Amendment or whatever. We could talk about those things all we want to, but if you can't actually defend that, then you don't really have it. We're just talking about imaginary thing.
Right. And that's what I tell a lot of the girls is that I talk to is that you have an illusion of safety, that you're safe, particularly on college campuses. I mean, guys too, not just girls, but yeah. I definitely see a lot of women who just don't even want to go on the gun side because they're just like, well, I'm never going to need it. I don't need to get to that point ever, until you have to get to that point and you're not able to. So I think that's part of the illusion is safety or public safety, right? Like all of those things were all part of the, agenda to make people be more reliant on the government and less reliant on themselves to defend their property themselves and their rights.
Yeah. Just think about that, guys. I'm going to wrap it up because we're at the 9 o'clock hour. I'm sure everyone has stuff to do, but just like, I hate to bring it full circle to the daylight savings. It's all imaginary. You see what I did there? No.
Good. It's good.
No. Walter is sighing.
I have so many other things to think about besides that bullshit.
All right. Okay, listen.
That's why I would tell people if you just want to just get a business, and you won't think about any of this other crap. Right, Eric?
Before you guys end.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was gonna say before you guys end, can I give a GOA alert, action alert for people?
Oh, absolutely.
If you guys can go, of course you can go to gunowners.org or you can go on my Twitter too. I already retweeted it. So the alert now is about the SVR bill. So be looking out for that, pushing that. Marshall from Kansas is the one who's pushing that bill. So make sure you guys are looking out for that alert and calling your representatives to push that.
Did GOA just put that alert out?
Yeah, just like a few hours ago. And I just tweeted it out, I think, a couple hours ago. Well, before this.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah, absolutely. And I don't know if anyone else wanted to say, but what we're going to do to wrap it up here is give everyone an opportunity to tell the folks out there how they can support them. So I would start with you, Antonia. What should people do out there if they want to support you, help you out here in your efforts? How can they support you and also reach out to you if they so desire to do that?
Yes. Well, you can support me by supporting GOA, Gun Owners of America. So you guys can go to gunowners.org and become members and continue to increase the membership from, 2 million plus to way over that, because obviously we have a lot more guns out. We need more members. And then also you can support us through Empower2A's projects. So go to empower2a.org, sign up, become a volunteer, email me. We need people to be a part of this movement. And if you know any people who are on, young women or even men in college or high school that might want to get involved or get interested, plug them in with Empower2A on Instagram or Twitter. Or whatever they have now for the young Gen Z people.
Yeah. You're talking like you're not. Oh, you're not in that anymore.
I know.
Huh?
I know. Okay. I'm a millennial now, so I'm a millennial, so I can't be, cool and hip like the Gen Z. But yeah, that's how you can get connected.
Yeah. By the way, also, in your new responsibilities here, if there's anything that we can do to help you out, let us know. Reach out to us and tell us, hey, share this, or if you need to come on while we're doing the show for some period of time and let people know about something or some event is going on or whatever, please, We'll be
All
happy
right.
to do it. We're usually just up to a bunch of nonsense over here, so. Yeah,
Well, hey, we're gonna actually be in Florida. I don't know, like the process, probably way far away from you. We're gonna be a part of the Turning Point Student Action Summit. So we're
Where's
gonna have a whole
that? Is
thing.
that in Tallahassee?
That's in West Palm Beach.
Oh, West Palm. Okay.
Yeah, the 19th to the 22nd. So
Of
come
December.
say hi. Yeah, December. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. West Palm is probably like 6 hours or something like that from where I'm at. Yeah. But listen, I could still, if I'm not sure exactly what I'm doing, I'd be happy to actually see you and hang out with you. But yeah, let us continue to let us know about that. If we could help share it out or even talk about it here on the show, we have quite a few people that are in that area. And if anyone's listening and you're in that area, help out, because that sounds like it's going to be something cool. I used to live in West Palm, actually. So, Harrison, how about you? How can the folks out there reach out to you?
Check out harrysholsters.com. Check me out on Instagram. I haven't been on there too much lately as things have been extremely busy, as Walter was saying. When you're in your own business, there's a lot you've got to do. And then my YouTube channel, Harry's Holsters.
Right.
Check me out all those places.
Yeah, you know what I just realized, Harrison? We were supposed to give something away. So we actually could not fully end this. I know, Antonio, if you have to go, it's okay. But we were supposed to give something away, so we actually can't end this unless we give that thing away. Otherwise, we will be horrible liars. So, Walter, you could go ahead and tell the people real quick how they could get in touch with you. But we have to give, because Armament and Axes just said, oh, by the way, where's the giveaway?
I'm waiting for my stuff.
We'll do it. We'll still do it here. We'll give it to someone here. Okay, go ahead, Walt.
Make it quick. Facebook, Instagram, Safety Hour Firearms, and I'll give away something.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so let's do this here. Harrison, what were we going to give away?
Okay, so you guys whoever wins can go on the hot deals section of my website, and we're closing out some of the custom color holsters. So pick one of the executive holster shells, or if they want a J-frame holster, they can do that. And if they get an executive, I'll ship it out to them with a polymer tough clip and then a dark wing and a wedge. So there's limited inventory, only a certain amount of models left there. So I figured it'd be best if they could pick what gun they have.
Okay. So just so everyone knows, we're going to give this away right now. So this is going to probably just take the next couple of minutes. Anyone who's still left here watching us, there's probably like 70 people. Okay, anyone who's still here watching us right now, if you're interested in, what's the details on that holster again, Harrison?
It's one of the, I guess they'll get in touch with me and see whatever's left in inventory. They can pick whichever one
whatever available guns.
Models.
Yeah, who needs? Go ahead.
In the hot deals section.
All right, so who's left here that needs an awesome holster from Harry's Holster, the sponsor of the show right now? Harry's here. Here's your moment right here. And we're going to let Antonia pick the person. So you might want to put that in your comment. Antonia's going to pick who this person is. Let us know right now. You got pretty good odds. And make sure everyone smashes a thumbs up on this. Who wants it? Put your comments in here right now. We're going to let Antonia go through... just say
I don't know how to do that.
Yeah, just say here's what you do. Say right now, I want the holster. Can you see the chat, Antonia? I'll tell you how to do it. That link that I sent you earlier, that's to the actual YouTube thing. If you can open that up in another window and then just mute it because it's probably gonna echo. So mute it. You should see a chat going on the side of that. So let me know when you see that. Anyone who wants it right now, make your argument to Antonia.
I just literally had to pick someone.
Yes, look for all the people saying I need a holster. Whoever's out there saying I need a holster, you guys are gonna have to make your argument to Antonia, and she gets to pick who she wants to give it to. What's up?
And don't pick Brian quick because he's lefty, and I only make right-handed holsters.
Oh.
Ooh, man. Okay, don't pick Brian, you said? Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on a second. Brian, do you have to let us know right now if you want the right-hand holster? No, I'm not going to disqualify him. If you let us know if you want it, you're not necessarily disqualified. But it's all up to Antonia.
Oh, Brian's already going with the intelligent and pretty. Oh, man, that's actually amazing.
Whose phone is that? Was that you, Walter?
That was me. I'm sorry.
Oh, man.
Yeah, who wants the holster? Let us know right now.
Ooh, Okay, I think I'm gonna go with the. Actually, I'm not even sure if he actually wants a holster.
Okay, you got
But
you got to make sure that person's looking for the holster. That's the only thing.
Okay, I'm not really sure if that person was, but
Yeah. Pick someone that says I need a holster, or I need a Harry's holster, or please pick me, or I see a bunch of different things in there. You know.
Okay.
Don't feel bad. We're giving stuff away every single time we go on air, so we can't actually get off air. Otherwise, someone's gonna say that I'm a horrible, evil person. And I just completely forgot because I got lost in your beauty, Antonia. That's what happened to me.
She's too nice to pick. I am too nice to pick. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna go with Captain Shark.
Captain Shark. Okay, hold on. Now let me see.
Please pick me, he says.
Where's Captain Shark? Okay, there you go, Captain Shark. Okay, so what? A couple of times. So there you go. So Captain Shark, what does he need to do? What does he need to do, Harrison? Captain Shark, you're the winner.
What's the best way to have him get either in touch with you or me, and then I can get it shipped out and figure out I can kind of let him know what's available and.
Okay, Captain Shark, you're the winner.
I knew you were gonna say rigged.
No, that's no. People say that all the time.
I picked you.
Oh, see, you got. Oh, why didn't you? You should have said that. You know.
Well, there was one person who said they were a GOA member, but they didn't say that they wanted the holster in that same thing. So that's
see. So, next time, there you go. See, by the way, it's not rigged because that's why I'm not picking the person. See, I'm here every day, and so there's no favoritism. I'm letting other people pick who wins the thing. But you know what? Congratulations to Captain Shark. So he just needs to reach out to you, right?
Yeah, that works. Reach out to me through my website in the contact forum.
Yeah, exactly. And also reach out to Lola so we can confirm. Because now everyone's going to change their thing to Captain Shark and try to reach out to you, by the way.
Also, Captain Shark, if you could go and put something in that contact us, and then go on my most recent YouTube video and make a comment with your username and handle that will reference that in some way.
Yeah, we want to make sure that Captain Shark gets it. Okay, cool. Congratulations to Captain Shark. I'm glad you got this holster. For anyone who didn't get something, we're on tomorrow. What's today? Wednesday? We're going to be on tomorrow. We're going to be on Friday. We're going to be doing this for the entire month of December. You're welcome.
Christmas too? Christmas?
Well, I'm not going to be on Christmas. This is Christmas right now. We're having Christmas right now. I want to thank Harry's Holsters, Harrison for coming in. Of course, I want to thank Walter for always coming in here and having, missing dinner and everything with the family to join us. But I want to congratulate and thank Antonia Okafor. Thank her for coming here to the show. She's always generous with her time. We appreciate it, Antonia.
Thanks for having me. No, yes. I appreciate it. It's good stuff. Thanks.
Yes, and I like your dreadsy twists. Was that what it did? Right?
Yes. I'll let you call them dreadsy twists. Yes.
Oh, okay. I can't. I don't know why. Passion twist. Oh, why? I don't know why I keep forgetting the passion twist. Okay. Yes, it looks. I really do like it. Genuinely, it looks awesome. All right. Thanks everyone. We are out of here. Let me drop the end on the show here. Dropping it. Boom. Where is it? Okay. Hold on. Didn't drop. Let's try it again. Boom, there we go. Make sure you guys subscribe, comment, share the videos, thumbs ups, all that. Most importantly, ring the bell so you can be notified every time we go live. Thanks everyone for joining us. We're out of here. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Any final words, guys?
I see you.
Okay.
Good night, everybody.
Join GOA.
Yep.
Peace.